live from high atop Scott's social media studios in the heart of the Cedar City, just outside of America's Music City. This is the one and only SEC Football Review, coming to you live with your hosts, Michael Clay and Jared Scott. Well, Michael, I tell you, I was so excited to have this conversation because I'm just like, wow, what a football season.
Yeah, it's been fun.
What a season.
It's been great, and I think this weekend coming up is going to be just as great, if not better than what has been. It's huge in SEC. I think this is, to me, I'm going to say the biggest week in SEC weekend this week.
This coming week.
This coming week. Yes,
and see, and that's, I think that's a huge statement to say.
Yeah.
Like this season, I'm trying to think of more excitement and intensity. And I mean, just, I don't even know how to describe it.
This weekend, and I can somewhat explain if you kind of have questions, the games, the matchups. Obviously, you have two huge ones involved. That's 4 teams. And then there's even, I would throw one more in there. But this week's going to really set up the rest of the week, rest of the year as far as top 2 in the SEC, I think. This is a big week. Probably the biggest. I do believe that.
Well, and you know, a lot of Tennessee fans feel like the Alabama weekend is a huge week, but I mean, there's a lot of other games going on this weekend that are big.
Well, you talk about overall college football?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, there is.
Like this is like, and I'm trying to think like in the history of the conference. Like now that you've added Texas and Oklahoma to the mix, right?
Yes.
And then you couple that with how strong every team in the conference is this year. Like we're not talking initially I kind of felt like, oh man, they're starting to grow some gaps here.
Yes.
But then you start seeing these teams that I thought were just done. And all of a sudden, I mean, we'll talk about some of last week's games, but I mean it's just
and I'll start off, we're excited getting ahead of ourselves. I want to say thank you to Tom for filling in. Tom Luck filled in last week. He made a good point. With the exception of Mississippi State, anybody can beat anybody.
That's right. It's the SEC.
And I think so.
Right?
Yeah.
It's the SEC.
I agree.
And you know, another thing that really, and I don't know that Tom and I got a chance to talk about this, but I started thinking about this. Has the NIL really changed all of this? Because the other thing I was thinking is these players, right, that are now like, well, you know, I don't really care about, for example, Pavia at Vandy, right, playing at Georgia, what was it, Georgia State or whatever?
No, he was playing at New Mexico State.
No, I'm talking about the one that they lost.
Yeah.
So playing down to teams that are not as good because they're thinking about, I need the big payday. And if I'm on national coverage and national broadcast, now's my chance. And he did. He got huge payday simply by going, hey, he did the circuit right after that Vandy win.
Oh, yeah. He's got a podcast now. That's probably
everything.
Way bigger than
our one viewer, right?
Yeah.
And thank you, T-Bone, for viewing. We appreciate you, buddy.
That's right, T-Bone.
T-Bone's going to join us in a little bit. We're excited about that.
I got some things to talk about with him.
I just feel like that NIL has made it to where players that maybe they were just an everyday Joe, right? And now they get on the big stage in a big game.
It gives them reason.
And they're like, I'm playing now. Because now I can win big bucks if I make the big play. And then I can go transfer to another school.
Well,
and make
if
big
you
money.
NIL, does play a part in it. And then I think the transfer portal, is what
Those
really
two combined,
makes
right?
The transfer portal levels the playing field from one year to the next. It's going to be rare that you have used to be you got Johnny 5-star. He was there for 4 years.
The franchise player is over, right?
Now, like, I don't think There we go. I forgot about the buttons. I got to get back in
You
the
gotta
swing
get
of
back
things.
into the groove. You know, you
Been
go out
gone,
on
yeah.
vacation, you
Yeah.
leave me alone. I mean, Tom was great, but I missed you, buddy.
Oh, thanks.
I missed holding your hand. Your wife is going to get jealous now.
Let's see. Yeah.
I
That's
thought it-
me clapping.
I like turtles.
I thought it was more I like turtles.
Was it more
but,
that?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a little more I like turtles. But
Um,
but you know, it was great having Tom on, but I missed you.
well, let me say this. If I'm going to be a part of this show, like from calling in last week, that's hard to do.
It is hard to do.
I
And
was
those
sitting in the
folks
car
who do
and
the
I-
call-ins, man, I really appreciate that. We really appreciate
I would
that.
have to go in a closet if I'm going to call in again. Like I was sitting in the car and I started like watching people going in and out of stores and like I was not focused on the conversation after a bit.
Well, and I imagine that it's hard to manage the audio. You know, we've got a lot of audio,
Yes.
sound paneling and stuff in here in the studio. So, trying to do our best to give the best quality to our one listener. So
Yeah, that's right. Because he deserves it. He or she.
He or she. We don't
Yeah,
know who you
yeah,
are,
yeah,
but
that's
he or
right.
she, the one viewer out there. We really appreciate it.
You've come out firing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Thanks,
No.
thanks for kissing my
The
butt. I know
crowd,
you missed
thank you,
me.
crowd.
Thank you. Thank
They're
you, thank
here.
you.
They're
Yeah.
ready. They liked it.
Your imaginary crowd that you create. I love
Yeah.
it. It's great.
But they're not imaginary. I see. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Don't insult the crowd after they just cheered for you.
Are they going to boo me now? We don't have,
Do we have a
we don't
boo?
have a
We
boo button.
don't.
We need a boo button.
How about that? We'll buzzer you.
We need a boo button.
We do. No, so where we got?
We got sidetracked.
Yeah, we did.
That's the story of our show, though. That's why we're not superstar professionals.
No.
Right?
So thanks to Tom, thanks to T-Bone / Trey calling in. Michael Hahn was pumped up last week.
Oh,
I
yeah,
listened
he was
and
good.
I think he's a little too excited about how good Vandy is.
He's not the only one.
I
You
think,
look at all the analysts. All the analysts are excited about how good Mandy is.
no, I'm excited too,
This is
but
just like I felt like watching Paul Feinbaum or watching anybody. It's like the Vandy show all of a sudden.
Yeah, well-
you know, Pavi has put him on the map.
yeah,
so.
he has. Got to see his brothers. Went to the Vandy Kentucky game.
Oh yeah, one of them was shirtless.
Yeah. He has Vandy black and gold overalls on, and the other one I saw, he was just black polo, whatever. But they had a nice
Oh, you saw him at the game.
at the
I saw him on
Kentucky
TV.
game. No, I saw him. We sat.
Oh yeah, you went. You went to the game.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my week this has been the last 2 weeks.
Hey, you know what? I think you're becoming a big Mario.
There we go. Yeah.
You're becoming a big Mario.
The last 2 weeks has been
Been a
exciting,
whirlwind for
crazy.
you,
Yes,
man.
yeah. From Vanderbilt beating Alabama, which I had just gotten into Orlando. We were in Disney Springs, and I was walking around looking. I could not believe I couldn't find nowhere in Disney Springs, which is not the park, but like their little shopping and eating and fun area. Nowhere in there carried SEC Network. I went.
Wait a second. I
Yes.
thought SEC Network is owned by the same.
ABC.
They're owned by ABC,
Yes,
who's
Disney.
also owned by Disney.
Yes. Well, they don't carry.
Shame on you. Shame on you, Disney.
Yeah.
Shame.
There's a
And not only that, you're in Orlando, which is Florida.
right. So shout out to this guy. I didn't catch his name. I did buy him a beer. I'm running around looking on my phone.
Did you tell him about our show so you can watch this?
No, so maybe one day he'll find it and go, "Oh, that's the guy.
That's
that,
the guy
yeah, that I
had a
helped."
beer with. And I helped him out.
He probably hacked my phone and everything I own. So I finally find this bar outside. I see that they got sports on. Well, I walk up, and this one guy sitting at the bar, younger. He was of age. He was already drinking, so he was
Well, we
probably in
assume
his
he was,
20s. Yeah. I hope so. He was. But
Did he have some gray hair like you, Michael?
no.
great.
He was a young, handsome fella.
He was a young, good-looking guy.
Yeah.
Not like us, huh?
No.
Not old fogies.
No.
Okay.
So I walked up, and as I walked up, I noticed he had it on his phone, the Alabama Vandy game.
Oh, he was watching it.
Yeah, but there was a TV right here at the bar, and bartender comes over and I said, "Hey, can you get the Vandy Alabama game?" And he says, "No, they can't. I've already asked."
The bartender at the bar.
Yeah, I asked her, but he chimed in and said, "No, they can't. I've already asked." And I said, "Well, I noticed you got it on your phone." He said, "Yeah."
I wonder if they're like, DirecTV had a big drama about that.
Yeah,
Like they lost connections to all, like we were at Top Golf or something.
Oh, really?
And all of a sudden, all the TVs went blank because their contract for whatever network was on the TVs went dead.
That weekend?
Real time. I don't know if it was that weekend, but I know it happened.
Well, I don't know why they don't carry SEC Network.
You would think that Disney,
And
of all
nowhere.
people, since they own SEC
Yeah,
Network,
you would think
effectively.
they would find, because before I left my hotel
I mean, they
room-
should have a whole bar dedicated to the SEC Network at Disney.
Yeah, you would think they used to have a ESPN
On ESPN
restaurant.
bar.
Yeah, but that's gone. So yeah, I'm going, "What? You can't get it?" And he said, "I can put it on your phone." And I was like, "Oh, well." He's like, "Yeah." He showed me some way,
Yeah, he hacked your phone.
probably, but he put it on my phone, and then
You're hacked.
And I got to
He's
watch it.
hacked.
Yeah,
Michael
yeah.
is hacked, everybody. He's hacked.
well, he's not hurting for money because he hadn't drained my bank account.
Oh, he hasn't drained you yet.
Yeah.
He's gonna surprise
He's
you
slow
after the
playing.
show. He's like,
Yeah.
I saw the link to your show. I'm gonna surprise you at the end of the show.
Yeah, so I got to watch it thanks to him. Probably the last 5 minutes. It took me that long to find a TV and get. I mean, I was following it
That's
on
a
my phone.
heartbreaker.
Yeah, and my daughter, I embarrassed her because I would cheer like walking through the crowd. I'd be like, "Yes!" She's like, "Shut up!" But it was fun.
She's not putting up with your crap, Michael.
Yeah. So we get back last Friday before the day before Kentucky game. We wake up. I sleep
Yeah, because that
in.
was 2 weeks ago. That was the
Alabama was
Alabama
2 weeks
Vandy
ago.
game. The huge upset.
Yes. So everybody's
Because
pumped.
you've been missing now. You've been missing on
Yes.
the radar.
So vacation, we get back this past Friday, a week ago from tomorrow.
Well, but people also got to realize, right? You're in Orlando,
yeah.
and here comes the hurricane.
Yes. Yeah. So
Right. So not only was it a huge deal because you couldn't find the game,
yeah.
but then you're also at Disney when Hurricane Helena or whatever it is.
No, Helene was the
Helene.
first one. This is Milton.
Oh,
He
this is
came-
Milton.
Milton was the second one, and he was coming straight across the peninsula from Tampa to Orlando to, I guess, Daytona Beach.
Right at you.
Yeah.
And they're telling everybody, you got to get out now. Dude, it looked like on the TV they were telling everybody to get out.
Yeah, on TV they were, but Disney was like, "Oh, you'll be safe here." They want
Disney's
your
like,
money.
oh, we want your money. Give
Yeah.
me your money.
And I had actually a couple friends that had flown in. Were like, "We're just going to ride it out," and they were fine.
Ride or
couple different-
dies,
yeah.
man. Ride or dies. You
But-
don't know what's going to happen. You don't know.
You
what's
know
gonna
why? My wife and I ultimately the decision to leave. We left Tuesday morning. Was our car.
Your car.
They were like, "Oh yeah, y'all be safe in here. Our hotels are built, and they are. And I don't think Disney was damaged. But then we got to thinking, well, what if we walk out, our car's flooded, washed away, or a big tree's like you can't protect my car
Yeah.
out in the parking lot. And
It
then
was your vehicle, not a rental.
right,
Because y'all drove
we
down.
drove down, yeah.
That's a big drive.
And then we were
too.
like, what would we do then? Because you're going to kick us out on 3 days later when we were supposed to check out on Friday. And then what do I do?
Then you got to
So
find something.
ultimately, we're like, be on the safe side, get out of the way. We went to Panama City and enjoyed it. We had a great time.
PCB, man. The old school classic right there,
Yep.
baby.
And got back. And then the very next morning, friend called me, said, "You want to go to Kentucky today?" Okay, let's go. And it turned out well. It was a lot of fun.
That was a close game, too, which probably.
Yes.
And this is going to be the conversation we're going to have because I like the closer games.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
A lot of people say, oh, man, I just want to convincingly win. Okay, well, that's fine. But I like to watch the closer games, right? So,
Yeah.
so if my team is blowing everybody out, I watch the first quarter, maybe
Yeah.
the first half, and then we're at third string, right? And I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm done.
Well, yeah. Now, if I'm blowing out an SEC, like if Vandy blew out Kentucky, I'd watch the whole thing. But when Vandy blows out Alcorn,
You're watching just to rub it in.
yeah. But when they're blowing out Alcorn State, I'll tune out.
Speaking of, that's going to be. I'm going to the Ball State game this weekend at Vandy.
Okay.
Got a great deal. So the $15 a seat ticket before Vandy won against Alabama. So, so we got $15 tickets that comes with a $15 food voucher. So I see this as
Oh.
dinner.
That's good. Okay. On that note, after the Kentucky game, we
I mean, my tickets are probably worth a lot of money now, right?
to Ball State.
It's still Vandy though. After
Yeah.
they're winning now, big time,
Well,
everybody's all excited.
So to that point, the coaches, when we were walking back to the cars, we had to go by where the team buses were and where they were coming out of the stadium to get on the bus, and we had a 13-year-old and a 10-year-old with us, boy, and they wanted to see the players come, and so we waited around and watched some of them, and there is an excitement among the team,
Oh yeah.
the coaches, and this one coach came. Well, they're all taking time. And it wasn't like a ton of people, but anybody that was there, they were like, "Thanks for coming." And one coach was like, "Hey, y'all coming next week?" And I
Is there
don't
a
have
big
season
student
tickets.
presence there at the game.
There was a little bit. They had a section with
Like a
fam. You
student
could tell it was
section
like
or a fan section.
more of the family of the players and probably some students. I want to say we were one of very few of just straight fans with no connection other being a fan. There probably were some, but we were all kind of in the same area, one little small section.
Well, Vandy culture, right? They've not.
They don't travel.
Well, they've not had a reason to.
No, yeah,
So
rightfully
is that
so.
is
It's-
that going to change now, right? I mean, those are things that
It will, because it did with Franklin. They started to travel better, especially when they got to bowl games. But it takes.
it's going to take a couple years.
Yes.
It's going to take some convincing beyond just I beat number one.
Yeah, well, and they followed it up beating Kentucky. I think Vandy's a decent. I'm not a Michael Hahn that's going to go. They can beat Texas and win it all. The SEC, because that's what
Michael
I felt like.
Hahn, yeah, he was. That's
I
his.
mean, that's good though. Be excited. I'm not downing him, but
Well, Michael Hahn
I'm
has
gonna
been
be
trying
realistic.
to get Vandy to win for forever.
Yeah, yeah.
When I did my MBA after I finished, I tried to do networking, and guess
Mm-hmm.
who was the head of the athletic pep club? It was Michael Hahn.
Okay, yeah.
So like every Vandy event,
yeah.
that's how he and I ended up meeting.
Okay, that makes sense.
Was through the
Well, he
Vandy-
has the energy. I mean, that's good.
and so Hahn was talking last week. I think he wore his Vandy stuff everywhere.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So,
Well, and I had my Vandy hat at Disney, and the rest of the week in Panama City, I wore it. Right? You beat Alabama, I'm gonna wear. I'll wear Vandy Speedos
oh,
if I have.
and you brought it to the
Oh,
show
yeah,
today,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, there it is. I don't know.
Let's
it's
see.
hidden.
Is it hidden? It'll
Oh, it
rotate
is.
through. Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
it'll
there it
rotate
is.
through. It's going to be up
Preview.
next.
Yeah.
You can always pick it up too, but
Yeah, I'll
we got
knock
new
over the
trinkets. So
trinkets.
my birthday happened, and the kids got me new trinkets, and then Michael brought his pitcher coach award
Yeah.
and his Vandy hat. So
I mean, this show is rolling despite one viewer.
just because we got our one viewer, we're still pumped. We're
I mean,
excited.
we're changing things
This
up
is
back
the
there.
highlight of our week. I mean,
Yeah.
at least it is for me. I mean, I know
No,
you've
it-
got more exciting stuff going on,
No,
Michael,
no,
but-
this is fun. I enjoy it.
I mean, it's called work, and then it's called the show.
Yeah.
And so, and of course, this isn't work because we don't get any money. So
No, it's just fun.
it's very fun.
And if we
Very
did get money, I'd still have fun. It's fun.
fun. Yeah, still be worth it just
Yeah,
for
yeah.
fun.
Oh, yeah. It would be, yeah.
'Cause,
Going
I
to
mean,
work
I'd
every
love
day.
to have money, but I mean, you got to have like more than one viewer to have money.
Yeah, yeah.
We got to have more than just T-Bone watching the show
Yeah.
to have.
Oh, he better call in if he doesn't.
After he harassed you like crazy last week
Yeah, challenged me.
to some kind of
And then
milk jug drinking
okay,
craziness.
he is Tennessee's Michael Hahn.
He is. He is. Just blind. Tennessee's going to blow
Yeah,
everybody.
they're gonna
Hey,
whoop
have you
'em.
seen the memes? The Vols by Fitty memes?
Oh, not since no.
Oh, that's
they changed?
Like they always have some meme
Yep.
with Heupel with like gold chains
Yeah,
and a
yeah.
cigar
I've seen those. Yeah.
saying Vols by 50.
Well, has that changed?
Oh,
Is what I'm
I
saying.
mean,
No,
I haven't
have
seen,
seen
I
those.
haven't seen any lately though. That's weird.
Well, when you're not.
When you're not winning by 50.
Yeah. When you're not playing UT Chattanooga, and
Yeah. Well, there it is.
which I am surprised by.
Let's talk about some football.
Yeah, let's get into it. Enough.
Okay, so we always open up with our conversations about the previous week, and I struggled. So when I put together the survey, don't forget, go secfootballreview.com. It'll take you to our link tree, and you can click on this link and fill out the survey. We do update it every week, and it's kind of challenging to get all the data out of those surveys. We use SurveyMonkey; it's free. So I'm not trying to do a plug, but they do give us free stuff, right? Linktree and SurveyMonkey, we're using free stuff. So, those are great tools, and they do have pay packages. We don't have any money, so we don't do the pay packages.
No.
but I'm sure they would love to have a little plug there, and they don't pay us to say that. So, when we go back and look at the surveys, just understand that it takes a little bit to get the data out of those surveys and to organize it. And we both work full-time jobs.
Yeah.
And so just trying to get show prep, I think, it takes us 30 minutes to an hour probably for show prep. And and so
We
and then we
should
do
do
the
better.
show, right? Which
Yeah,
is
yeah,
like,
yeah.
a couple hours, so, I mean, it's when you're working a full-time job, it's,
So more people should watch. Yeah.
yeah. So, I mean,
And then we'll
they
get
laugh
better
and they
show
say,
prep.
hey, these losers, they work a full-time job,
Yeah.
what the heck? They should. But anyway,
So watch this show.
watch
our
the show, fill out the surveys. We're going to aggregate the survey data over the entire season.
Yeah.
And then at the end, we'll probably give an award, probably to T-Bone for filling out all the surveys. So,
But if enough of you start watching, we can quit our jobs. We'll do better show prep. We'll have it from
that's
week
right.
to week.
I mean, heck, if we
Yeah.
get paid
Yeah.
enough money,
And then that whiteboard, which Jared would not let me put some things up there today.
maybe one of these days.
We're going to use it one day.
one of these days.
Wherever it is, I pointed that way.
Wherever it is, yeah.
Oh, there it is behind camera 3. But
Okay, so talking about last week, speaking of the survey, right? I struggled with
so what'd you put up?
I struggled with what I thought were the top two, right? So usually we have a top two most exciting games the previous week, and because of my struggles, I just said, you know what, I'm just going to put a top three, and so I felt like that the LSU upset overtime win over Ole Miss was a big deal.
Yeah.
I thought that was an exciting game to watch. The Tennessee close call over Florida shouldn't have been a big deal, but it
No.
was a huge deal.
I think it surprised.
It made me a little sick to the stomach, right? But Florida always plays them tough. We'll talk about those here in a little bit. And then I felt like that Bama close call win over South Carolina was another shocker.
I didn't expect that. Yeah, get that.
I didn't see that coming.
I didn't either. And to go back on, I watched the show. Tom also said, he thought Alabama would come out, and I agreed to that. In listening, I did not think that would be a 2-point game like that. So it may
Look at this. So apparently the analytics or the whoever this number comes from thought Alabama was going to win almost the entire game.
Yeah,
But man, I'm
South
sorry,
Carolina,
but when
yeah.
I watched that game, I was not convinced.
Yeah.
Not convinced. Bama, Bama only put in a touchdown in each of the first two quarters,
I mean, halftime's 14-12.
and South Carolina started really putting the gas on in the
Well,
second
they took
quarter.
the lead in the third, so
And so, when we look at these numbers, I'm like, dude, they were not that convincing. It was not a 95% win ratio in my mind
yeah.
watching that game.
Well, early on, maybe. Yeah, I don't even know early on because they never really
They didn't really do anything.
got a big lead.
I wasn't
No.
convinced. And,
So
I mean, if Reagan was on, right, Reagan would probably say, "Come on, Jared, Bama's great," But I mean, it was a lot closer than I expected. I expected Bama to go out shooting.
So, okay, to your point, Reagan's a fan, and any Alabama fan, I bet they're not happy with DeBoer. DeBoer, when it,
They're not happy they don't have Nick Saban.
yeah. And I mean, they're proving right now, like, because they don't, a 2-point win. This is not a win. I mean, it is
This
a win.
is a loss to them.
Yeah, this is
For a Bama fan, this is a loss.
and going to your,
But that's the same thing with the Tennessee game, right?
because Bama fans, they will sit in the stands and watch a 200-12 game. They won't leave. Me and you would walk out and be like, this is not fun to watch. But Alabama wants to beat
Well, if
everybody.
I go to a game, that's different, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I'm talking about when I'm sitting at home watching on TV.
I think Alabama fans on TV, they want to see it
gonna
100
watch
to
the whole
nothing, and they'll watch till the final second, and they'll be ecstatic about it. And I guess that's what makes them, and
That was makes them
why
Bama
they-
fans.
and why
roll tide, right?
yeah, they take no mercy, and they want to watch. I
but
think
that's
they would-
also going to create a real challenge for the expectations.
Oh yeah, and it always. I think through the years with multiple teams, I think UT can get like that sometimes. I think your big college programs
The expectations.
sometimes aren't satisfied. Wins aren't going to come easy sometimes, and then fans look at that as, oh, the coach, something's wrong. The coach ain't getting them up or something. And especially nowadays with the parity, with the NIL, with the portal, and players can jump around. It's going to be more like this, I think.
Parity. I feel like that's a good word for it, right?
Yeah.
Because now everybody's on a lot more even playing field than they used to be.
Oh yeah.
Because it used to be, and that may be why Saban said I'm out. Because he'd be able
And he
to
has
recruit
some-
and
yeah.
stack the deck at Alabama.
When he's, I
And
think
then
you
when he
could
left,
look-
all of a sudden it's like portal, NIL.
there's a story, and I don't. People, anybody that might be listening, can go back or may even know. You can go back and look it up. There was a story about he was talking about him and his wife in recruiting in the last couple of years, and his wife was like, "This is not the same." When they would bring recruits in, she would entertain the parents and talk to the parents. She was like, all they want is money now. They don't care that, hey, we're here to be their mom when they're, away from you. We're here to take care of.
When the parents are
And
in
you
it
can
for the
look
money
this
too,
story. I
right?
can't remember where I
the
read
parents
it.
are like, this is the payday.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I'm sitting here watching this and they're like, oh yeah, so-and-so's parent is also their manager. Their what?
Yeah. So
It's because it's all about the
it's
money.
changing. It is changing, and I don't think it's going to. Yeah, your big school, you just got to
Maybe
have
I've
money.
been naive, right? Maybe I've been more naive to it in the past. Because I'm sure, like, when you're NFL caliber, you're still thinking about that, even before NIL.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
But it just blows my mind.
Well, and I'll even say Vandy. Okay. And I'm not trying. Everybody's been, oh, Vandy can't get the players because of academics. I think they're even, and I could be wrong, and I'm not making.
Maybe they're bringing some money to the table now.
There's money.
Vandy's got
There's
money.
no way.
They got my money.
And you can't tell me these people were going to class. They're not student athletes of 25, 30 years ago. There's no way.
Well, and that's the whole thing of the athletic study facilities and all this other stuff. I know Tennessee built a huge study facility just exclusively for athletes.
Right. And I'm telling
And they
you.
go in and then they come out and all of a sudden they got a paper that they did.
And I'm waiting
And
for
I'm not
this.
bemoaning this, right?
No.
Because
we're
I
just
mean, it's a
acknowledging
business.
the change.
It's
Yes.
a business as
Yeah.
a college. It's a huge business.
It's now, yeah, and they're making money. And I'm not saying they're wrong. I'm not faulting them.
Oddly enough, Tennessee's making so much money off the football program, but now all of a sudden the tuition is outrageous. When the kids were looking to go there, I'm like, it used to be when I went there, it was a Best Buy.
Yeah.
Like USA Today had them as #1 Best Buy in 1996 or 97 or something like that.
Yeah. Good deal.
And then
good
there's like, oh
education.
yeah, it'll be $50,000 a year. Like what? There ain't no
Yeah.
Best Buy no more.
No, in state, out of state. Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, no. It's changed. It really has. And here's something. If I was an athlete, let's say I was a 5-star today, and it's going to happen. I don't know when. And I don't know if I'm the only one that saw this. I doubt it. But if I was a 5-star coming out of high school, you know what my goal would be in today's world of college football? Freshman year, I'm going to sign. If I won a national championship my freshman year with a team,
I'm gonna go to another team and get more money.
I'm going to try to be the first player to win 4 national championships
At
at 4
4
different
different
teams. Would that? And you would be
I
known.
think we talked about this.
Did we talk about this
previously.
before?
I think we did.
That would be my goal in today's world.
Because I think you said something about the portal, and then you were like,
That's
Yep.
how I felt a little
"Yep,
bit.
just go. I just want to go to 4 different schools and win the national championship at 4 different schools."
How awesome would that be, though, to be able to be that first kid? You're famed there. You would make money.
That's almost like
I don't even
winning
know
at Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
Bazinga.
Yeah, I was like, man, what's my? Would you not?
That's like winning at Vanderbilt, winning against the number 1 team.
Yeah. Like what Pavi is doing at Vandy is going
it's
to
air
get
raid,
him,
baby.
It's going to get him some sort of fame, whether he plays at the NFL level or this podcast takes off, because he's doing.
Something.
Yeah.
He's set now.
And
right?
I don't blame. Like I'm
Good for
saying all
him.
this to not. I'm not blaming no one. I'm just saying it's a different.
It
time.
is. It's a different world.
It's a new world of college football. When did it start this year? No, I think
saw
it's.
this skit. So I saw
He's
this skit
into
where
it.
this guy walks into a room, and he's got a shirt that says CFB. And
Yeah.
he opens the door, and there's a whole bunch of him in different shirts. And the one behind the desk had NFL holding a football. And then the 2 on the couch had NBA and MLB. And they all looked at him and said, no, you need to get out of here. This is for the big money league. This is for the big boys.
Oh, and he's like, no, I ain't.
And then the dude on the couch, he's like, really? And then the dude on the couch, that's the NBA,
Yeah.
right, was bragging about, well, yeah, ours had 2 million viewers or something like that on TV,
yeah.
or we brought in $2.5 million or something in one of their games. And he goes, yeah, I think ours was like our last game, which was an in-season game, was 11.5 million viewers. Right?
Yes.
And then all of a sudden it's like the NBA guy's like, and then the MLB guy's like, oh, but we've got the biggest stadiums. And then the CFB guy's, yeah, let's see. Yours is what, 50,000? The big house was, I think, 107,000, right? Right. So it's like, dude, when you talk about sports,
Oh, college.
they can't compete. And so now we've got
And now they're finally
the money involved
getting.
too.
Yes, the players are starting to get paid for it. And
I don't know if it's going to last, though, right? If you've got players flipping from team to team to team, one of the things that I thought always made college football the best was that you had a culture and a franchise, and you had players that stuck with the team through thick and thin, like Peyton Manning.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And I worry that now that the NIL and the portal's here, you're not going to see that happen.
That's
anymore.
gone for the most part. Arch Manning at Texas. Well, this is his second year. I don't think he's going anywhere.
Well, and a lot of people would say Nico's the same thing, right?
Yeah,
Tennessee.
but it's going to be few and far between.
be few.
And the reason that Nico, let's say Arch Manning will stay, is they're probably getting paid.
So much money.
And they're like,
and
"Oh,
they're
that's
at
fine,
they're
I'll
at
stay."
they're at programs that have
They're
got so
going to
much
win.
money and so much depth
Yes. Yeah.
of money. Now I'm not talking about depth of team. I'm talking about depth of money.
Yes. No.
right?
no,
Because
no.
their fans
right.
and their contributors.
Price is right.
The
Jared is
price is right, man.
This is the best I've seen you in 6 shows.
It's just
You're on
because
fire.
you're back. That's why.
You are no. No, you're right.
Is T-Bone
You're right.
watching? T-Bone's watching. Looks like it.
Oh, look at there. Sounds like rich.
T-Bone says, "Sounds like rich people problems." He says.
I love it. He's like, "Who's in the chat? Let's go."
T-Bone, you're the only one
All right.
watching, buddy. I'm just
So-
telling you right now.
So look, anybody out there thinking
Anybody
of
else
watching,
want to watch T-Bone? Watching
Yeah.
T-Bone here.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, we have record viewers. We have
There we
4
go.
viewers right now.
Hey, get in there and
Hey,
chat.
get in there and chat with
T-Bone.
T-Bone. T-Bone's lonely. T-Bone's lonely.
Yeah. We're gonna build this show one day.
We'll build it. We built it from 1 to 4 today.
Hey,
Way to go. This is
It's like-
all because of T-Bone. T-Bone did
Yeah,
it. T-Bone
that's
did
right.
it.
Way to
That
go.
milk jug last week.
oh no, not laughing.
Wrong one. There we go.
They're clapping for you, T-Bone.
Clapping for you, T-Bone. T-Bone in the milk jug, baby.
Yeah, no. just
Should we actually
excited.
talk about football now?
Yeah,
instead
we
of all
should.
The
So,
garbage.
real quick before we get to games, back to the survey. I'm gonna say LSU Ole Miss.
You think that
Overtime,
was it,
and it
huh?
was a mild upset, although it was at home at LSU.
I'm gonna say the Bama game. For me, that was. I mean, Tennessee, Florida, that was a nail biter. But I feel like Tennessee, Florida has always been a nail biter
Yeah, you're right.
for as
you're
long as I
right.
can remember.
I can.
But
That's a good
Alabama, South
argument.
Carolina,
That is a good argument.
is that really a nail biter? That's a shocker right there.
Jared, ladies and gentlemen, is
And
making
you know
a good
that's
point.
crazy because I'm a huge Tennessee fan.
No, yeah.
For
No,
me to
that's a
root
great
for
point.
the Bama South Carolina game, Reagan's going to be like, "What's wrong with you?"
Yeah. Okay, you make a good point. I wouldn't argue if people picked Bama over or the close call with South Carolina. I still will say LSU Ole Miss
Well, and I mean ranking wise, if you look at the ranking and the upset
'cause
factor,
yeah.
right?
Well, and that game means a lot.
The end. Did you see the conference? So
LSU Ole Miss game?
So they showed a clip of Kiffin in his post presser, and Kiffin was talking about how tough LSU was, and I guess his post presser was right outside the LSU locker room, and you all of a sudden heard all the LSU guys in the locker. Yeah.
Oh yeah. There
Oh.
was some trash talk in the LSU locker room after the game
What was
towards
it?
Ole Miss.
Was it really?
Yeah, they made some TikToks, but
It is LSU, right?
Yeah.
There's a reason why it's called Death Valley, right?
that's what makes SEC. That's great because next year's Ole Miss LSU game
It's going to be
going to
huge.
be nuts. And I think this 2 losses now, Ole Miss is on the verge of missing the playoffs. Definitely out of the talk of SEC top 1 and 2 for the SEC championship. Definitely out now with that loss.
I'm trying to think what the
And
new ranking
LSU's
was.
sitting pretty, 2-0 in the SEC.
We didn't look at the rankings, or at least I didn't look at the rankings pre-show.
No. So
Let's see here. I don't know where they moved. Did they
Texas-
fall off the list altogether? That's the question.
no, that's last week.
That's last week.
Ole Miss has dropped.
We'll see them come
probably.
up whenever we start talking about
Yeah,
games again.
yeah.
But
We'll get to it then.
so LSU's now number 8.
They went from 13 to 8.
So that's a pretty big jump.
Yeah.
Tennessee's performance against Florida pushed them down to 11.
What were they previous?
I think they were like 7 previously.
Okay. Well, and we'll get to
8.
8. Okay.
8. So
There was movement, and this coming week is going to make more movement.
a lot of movement.
Yeah.
I don't know where is Ole Miss is still in the. They're
They
sitting down
dropped
here
to
with my
18.
boys, Missouri. Remember, I'm
Yeah.
a big hater on Missouri.
Yeah.
And then we'll talk about that game here in a little bit. I'm trying to think. You know what's funny? Somebody picked. Who was it? There was a big name. Oh, Spurrier is picking Army
To make the playoff?
to make the 12 team.
How awesome would that be?
That will be crazy.
Now,
crazy,
I don't know
crazy.
that they do anything. Yeah.
They're 6-0 right now, man.
That's good.
This is an SEC show though, so we're not going to talk about
Well, but Army's America.
that. America. Yeah, I did my Army basic training at Fort Jackson, Relaxing Jackson. So
Wait, you were in the Army?
I was in the National Guard. I didn't get
Oh,
deployed.
okay.
I got a general discharge. But, I almost died at basic combat training at the age of 35. So
You old man? Why'd you
yeah.
go in that late?
I was stupid. That
Well,
was, and I
no
was surrounded by
offense, but I
18-year-olds.
agree with
So
that
that was dumb.
statement.
My wife thought it was dumb. I don't know what I was thinking. I wanted
agree
to
with
serve my
her.
country, right?
At 35?
But at 35, that was stupid. So
Yeah.
so it almost killed me. And so just so you know, folks, basic combat training is no joke. No joke.
Especially when you're 35 and
The only
Jared
other guys that were
got-
34, 35 that were there were prior service from the Air Force
Yeah.
and from the Navy, because the Army does not take Air Force basic combat training or Navy basic combat
Oh,
training.
really?
Yeah. The only one that they take is the good old Marines.
I feel like
And the Marines don't take nobody's combat training.
you just got in the wrong line at a mall. And
Dude,
next
I had
thing
to
you know,
work- I actually looked pretty good, man. So when I went in,
that's a laugh on its own.
hey, for the first time in my life, man, I've never. Okay, Michael. Okay,
Quiet
audience.
down,
Thank you very
crowd.
much.
Yeah. Don't make fun of Jared. He's a good man.
So, I mean, I was like, before I went in, I was like about what I am right now.
Oh, okay.
I think 230, 240, something like that.
You were in podcast shape.
Podcast shape at the time. And then to get in, I was like, I think my wife thought, oh, he'll never make it. Like, he's just not in good enough shape. And I started running every day. I ran like 3 miles every day.
Yeah.
And I lost 40 pounds. I got down to 200. And then I think when I went in, I weighed in at 197 or something like that. But when I left basic combat training, I weighed in at 172.
Oh my gosh.
172. Yep.
You know what that still turns out? Was not enough.
I should have never brought it up. Never brought it up. But
actually, that's really interesting.
Technically,
that's a great.
I technically went through Army basic combat training because I went into the Army National Guard.
That's cool.
And
I never knew that.
I served for a little under 2 years and didn't end up completing my training. It was a learning experience.
I would say I couldn't do it.
I found
at
out I'm a pretty
35.
good iron sight shot. So
Okay.
I can hit with iron sights. I can hit a target at
So
300,
let me
300
apologize
meters.
now.
300 meters. So you better be very careful.
Before give me a big head start, please.
Yep, you're gonna need a lot of big hits. So 300 meters, right? You figure that's three football fields, right? So you're gonna have to have a lot of head start.
Yeah.
A lot of head start, buddy.
Wow.
I would never.
Just
you and I
remember,
hold hands too much. I
apologize.
can't do that.
I apologize.
Okay, so
All right, football talk.
Football talk. So you picked this game as the big one, and
Yeah.
one of the things I thought was interesting about this one, if you look here, look who was predicted to win the whole game.
Well, it kind of goes with the flow of the game too. You got to remember.
But the flow of the game was all Ole Miss the whole time,
Yeah.
except for the very last.
Well, yeah.
And I'm sorry, but it was pretty even on the score side.
Yeah. And I
And
don't know
this,
exactly.
a whole first quarter of nothing from Ole Miss.
Yeah. Which brings me, and I'll throw UT in there. Now that we're in conference play, beforehand we were looking at scores back, and they're scoring 50, 60 points.
Ain't doing that no more.
Well, they were playing Gladeville Middle and Gladeville,
Not that bad, but yeah,
Cupcake
bad.
team.
Cupcake teams.
basically.
Yep, out of conference.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry, I knocked some
And I'm
pins.
sure that's what's going to be the case with the Ball State game. We'll talk about that in here in a little bit, but
Well, they lost to Georgia State, so I don't
they
know.
did. Yep.
So, yeah. All right, let's start this thing.
Okay, so
Right.
so the 3 games to choose from, right, are the LSU,
For most exciting
Ole Miss,
last week.
most exciting, right? Tennessee, Florida, which was a nail biter all the way to the end. It seems like that's every Florida game for Tennessee, going all the way back to the 90s. And then the Bama South Carolina game. And I picked this one
picked that one.
because I felt like, man, I can't believe this. Bama only put up 7 points in the first quarter and 7 points in the second quarter and nothing in the third quarter.
Yeah, they had to.
So South Carolina clearly made some adjustments, right? And I really enjoyed watching this game. Like, this was an exciting game for me to watch.
Okay, so you were
Even though it
watching.
wasn't a high score, just watching Beamer is just, his facial expressions are just
Yeah,
it's almost like watching Steve Spurrier throw in the hat.
Yeah.
Like, that was one of the favorite things I love to watch.
Yeah, him throw that clipboard or his hat.
Oh, loved it. And so that's why, that was one of the reasons why I love this game, because I just enjoyed watching it. I really enjoyed it. And Bama's a good ball team, and South Carolina came to play.
Yeah.
And I also
Which is
wonder about these
surprising.
coaches that are on the hot
you've
seat, right?
almost talked me
Is
into-
Beamer a hot seat coach,
No,
right?
no, not yet. I don't know. Maybe. It wouldn't.
We'll talk about that here in a little bit.
Yeah.
So do we want to move on now that we've talked about those? Because
Yeah.
I think we beat them to death.
Yeah, you pick. Yeah. So start the week, this coming week's games.
It's your boys at Vandy. I'm going to this game, so
That's exciting.
hopefully it'll be a good game. I was hoping to get
Look at
Han.
us. SEC Football Review 2 weeks in a row have been live at football games.
We need to be like, I guess we're not a call-in show during that time period, but maybe we should do some specials at some point in time.
Yeah. Maybe the SEC championship game we could do. I don't know whether we would go to Atlanta, but do a show before that game or something. I don't know.
I know. I thought Han wanted to call in, but I don't know if he said he was going to be able to make it or not.
Okay. Well, this is not as exciting. Vandy, Ball State at Vanderbilt. Spread is 26.5.
That's a big spread.
Yeah.
It's a big spread.
I'm hoping.
So T-Bone just texted me. He says, chat is blowing up.
Look at it.
Chat is blowing up. We got 5 viewers.
Look.
Man, T-Bone's making magic happen over there.
My cousin, Shane.
Oh, is that who that is?
That's a cousin. Yeah, man.
All our cousins are going to start watching the show now.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. Good stuff, folks.
Yeah. He lived with us when he was a little turd.
Hopefully the YouTube stream's not screwing up. I've had tech
We've
problems.
shut down YouTube because we got so many
that's bull.
viewers.
That's bull. Stupid internet service providers over here in Lebanon can't seem to get it together.
No, so Vandy game. Hopefully it's not a repeat of Georgia State.
Yeah, that would be a heartbreaker.
I think
especially
they're going to
after
be
everything that's happened.
motivated not for that to happen again, especially now that they've beat Alabama, beat Kentucky. The season's meaning a lot more now. So I hope there's no letdown. Do they cover the spread? I was thinking beforehand on my way over here, 31-10.
Interesting.
So with that thought, I'm going to say they don't cover. I don't think it's close.
I'm going to hit me my Bob Barker. I'm going to pick 1 over, baby. 1 over.
And that throws
Vandy to
everybody
cover.
off. 1 over. They're like,
Vandy
I
to
don't
cover
even know
about
what that
1
means.
over. So I'm going to say Vandy's going to cover 27.5. Yes.
Oh, 27. Not even a full. Yeah.
I guess if I did 27 even, that's a half, right?
Yeah. Well, you can't score half a point, Jared.
Well, I don't know. I mean,
I've
that's
gone
what
over this with
the
you.
spread is 26.5.
Yeah. So that means 27. If they win by 27, you win. If they only win by 26, you lose.
I'm going to pick 27.5. Bob Barker, baby. Bob Barker style. Bob Barker style.
Daryl Tedrow, what? I don't think I've taught him anything about point spread.
I don't know. Daryl
that was
is Daryl
one
in
thing
the
you
chat?
found
Is Daryl
entertaining.
wearing us out right now too? I'm sure he is.
No, but when he called in a couple weeks ago, I talked to him.
I'm gonna text him, tell him to join the chat. We're Trey out.
He said one of the more entertaining things was me trying to explain Vegas and point spreads to you.
And I still
don't
haven't
think
learned.
No. So I take Vandy. What? No, I don't. I take them to win. Obviously, I don't think they'll cover.
Let's see if I can get Daryl in here.
You pick them to cover.
Yep. Yeah.
I hope so.
And it's funny because last week Tom corrected me because I think I said something like over under or something.
Don't ever change, Jared. You just went to Hawaii all of a sudden.
I was just thinking of Patrick from SpongeBob SquarePants.
I think of Hawaii, not Patrick.
Every time you hear that, dude, that's the SpongeBob SquarePants theme song.
Oh. I mean, I can't
T-Bone's
even keep
wearing us
up
out,
over
man.
there.
T-Bone's wearing us out. He's turning it into a circus, man.
Nah, my buddy. Oh, Towns. I went to the Kentucky game with him.
Did you really?
Yeah, he's one of the ones, and his boy Ellis went with us.
Nice.
I tell you right now, I love my own kid, but she wouldn't sit through a whole game. To go to any game, I would go with that 10-year-old Ellis to any game you want. He'll sit there and talk, not like he'll watch the game and point. Like I had a great time. It was a lot of fun. I was like, man, was I like this as a 10-year-old? Probably not. He didn't complain. It was fun watching the game with him. It was a great time. So, do we move on? Vandy, Ball State? I think it's pretty.
Yeah, I was hoping to have Han call in, but that's okay.
Well, we know what
We
he's
all know
gonna
what
say.
we know what he was going to say.
Yeah. They're going to cover 100 points.
Yeah, we knew what he was going to say.
Yeah.
So he would have picked more than Bob Barker.
Yeah.
So moving on, let's take a look at Texas A&M, Mississippi State. Now, here's the deal. I'm going to say this right now. Mississippi State, for as bad as I thought they were, they showed out.
Yeah, I was surprised with that. It was Georgia, right?
Yeah.
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 No, I did not expect
This
that.
is why I struggled, right? Because I'm like, now don't get me wrong. I mean, Georgia still won by 10 points.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they didn't, but I am saying that,
Yeah,
oh
but
my gosh, Mississippi State put up 31 points on Georgia.
Was the spread not 30-something points? 34, I think.
I don't remember.
It was huge.
It seemed like it was a big spread. We
which
need
is a little
to
much.
log that. Oh, wait a second. We need to get paid before we start logging
No,
things.
I know what you click on scores. Go to scores. You can find it.
Really? Are we really going to
No, we don't have to. You shut me down on that.
I don't see it.
No,
This is going to be too complicated.
Yeah.
Our fans don't want to watch this crap.
no.
They don't
They
want to
watch
screw
us.
around. They want to watch us
Look
talk
at those
crap
beautiful
about each other.
faces up there.
Well, you're a beautiful face. I'm just an old fat guy, but that's okay.
Yeah, okay.
That's okay. Okay, so when we look at Texas A&M, going back to Mississippi State, I was shocked.
Yeah.
I was shocked at their performance. And this is that new coach, right? Isn't this the new coach?
Yeah,
Mississippi
Lieber.
Lieber.
Yeah.
Yep. And
Yeah.
and so I mean I don't. He's not in the hot seat or anything, but you know, every coach has got something to prove.
Yeah. Oh, he's trying to coach his butt off right now. I know there might not be many wins.
Especially in the NIL world, right?
Yes.
You've got to win
Yes.
to recruit players, and it's you gotta have some big wins, and
Because-
that's what I think Vandy's doing too.
Because I think this year is if they continue on, let's say they win 6-7 games, they're going to do well in the portal next year.
And that was the whole thing about, wasn't it Texas A&M? Who was that coach at Texas A&M that everybody was like, oh, he's got all the money?
Yeah, Jimbo.
Jimbo Fisher.
Yep. Texas A&M does have a ton of money. You want to talk about schools that back their football program? Because they ended up paying him too to leave.
Yeah, they paid him big bucks. to leave.
Ridiculous. Yeah.
What is he up to nowadays? I don't even remember what he's up to.
I
now.
hope he's sitting on a beach counting his money. That's what I'd be doing. I could care less about
Oh, now
college.
he's on what, Paul Feinbaum show? No.
No.
Surprising future about Jimbo Fisher. I don't even know what he's up to anymore.
Uh,
Because, you know, he was the man that was going to do everything for Texas A&M.
yeah, they thought
he was going to
yeah.
hang the moon, and then
Hang
they
the
ended up
moon?
having to pay him out the wazoo to leave.
You were a math professor or teacher, not an English. Did you just hear yourself?
What?
You said they thought he was going to hang the moon. It's hung. Proper
Hung the moon?
English is hung the moon.
Hung is past tense.
No. That proper
No,
what
okay.
you said.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
hang
I'm
the
sure.
moon.
I'm sure. You know what? We need to call in my English.
Michael Hahn.
Oh, speaking of, there he is. Oh boy, here we
We have to
go.
make it fast. We've passed.
Oh, Michael Hahn. We missed you, buddy.
Hey, Jared. Hey, how are you doing?
We already passed on the Vandy game.
Yeah.
We're sitting here talking about Jimbo Fisher
Texas A&M and Mississippi State.
and all the money. Although we were talking a little bit about maybe Vandy's got some money. Maybe they're paying your boy Pavia a little bit to stay around.
He's only got this year left.
Yeah, he's at the end of his,
Eligible,
end of
yeah.
his eligibility. Although now he's like in a position where maybe he's actually going to go NFL, right?
I don't think he's good enough.
Somebody was talking about him being a Heisman. I think that was Michael Hahn that was talking about him being a Heisman candidate, right, Michael Hahn?
Heisman for Pavia?
Oh yeah.
I'm all for it.
What a shocker.
We'll see.
Yeah.
So Hahn, going back to the Vandy game, the spread is 26.5 for Vandy. Are you going to say that Vandy covers the spread and say that they win by 50?
Well, for this time, I'm a little bit cautious.
Oh,
Yeah, just because
wow.
our history.
Bazinga.
We're very, very strong team against the good team. but we are kind of slacking a little bit when we play a crappy team like Georgia State. And in this case, Ball State, I don't even know where they are. Are they in the United States?
Are they in the United States?
Indiana.
So Ball State is
Indiana.
2-4 right now, and actually we didn't even look at this. Although it
Yeah.
looks like their coach and the coach's wife voted for Ball State to win over Vanderbilt.
I think I heard about them before.
They have beaten Kent State,
Who
and they
is-
have lost to WMU, JMU, CMU, and Miami.
Yeah. Kent State is the worst
And
team.
Miami beat them 62-0.
All right. So just because what I said, when we play a crappy team, we will not play very sharp. So I would say we would not cover this spread. I would
agree.
say, I would say we beat them by 17 points.
So how is it,
Okay.
Han, that I'm a bigger Vandy fan this week than you are? That's shameful.
No, he's actually
He's a realist. He's a
Yes,
realist.
yeah.
And I'm
I'm an
not
engineer.
a realist. He's an engineer.
Hey, engineer does calculations. You know?
I would agree with you, Michael. I was telling Jared on the way over here, I was thinking to myself, 31-10.
Who is that? Somebody saying Vandy by 20. Who is that?
Towns, Jonathan Towns.
Well, there we go.
But yeah, so 21.
Somebody's saying they'll put a Shoney's gift card on.
I'm with you on they don't cover. I don't think it's close. I don't think it. But I think there's a bit of a hangover coming after beating Alabama. Thought it was going to be at Kentucky, but they played well. I think they win,
Yeah.
but and I don't think it's close where we're like, oh my gosh, they almost lost. But I just don't think it's going to be a Alcorn State game. How about that?
Towns wants to call in.
I
text him
agree.
my
I
cell,
totally
text him
agree
my
with
cell
you.
number, Clay.
Yeah, and after two tough games, right? I, as a kid, got a little tired, and then plus Ball State was not a super sharp team, so the practice will be a little subpar, I would say, for this whole week. Plus, this is so cold, so damn cold.
Oh,
Oh, so you think the
But we
cold's going to
do
play
have
into it too, huh?
indoor- We do have an indoor practice field, so
oh yeah.
cold is not excuse for not beating them by 30. But anyway, I think last Kentucky game definitely consolidated a lot of Vandy faithfuls' optimism
Yes.
about the season. And I don't think we will slack like we did against Georgia State.
I
We definitely
agree.
will win this game. Yes.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Maybe they'll correct their actions, but they're not going to correct it enough to be a huge win. Is what you're saying?
Well, I just don't see a big, huge motivation to beat them big. Like 55-20.
They take care
Well,
of business, and that doesn't mean they just
yeah.
go out there, they do their job.
Well, if Pavia is listening, wait a second. No, we only have 7 views, so I don't have Pavia listening. But if Pavia does listen later, Pavia, just know that you are now in the bid to be in the 12. You've only got 2 losses, bro. Now's the time.
Let's calm down.
Come on, I need
let's
him to
go.
beat the Spirit.
If they would
Calm
have
down, take care of the business.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if we were pretty comfortable for the first half and we set Pavia out.
that
Let
would be
the-
not, yeah,
Let the second
rest
string
game.
play a little bit, huh?
because he did get a little
Yeah.
banged up in the Kentucky game,
It was, yes.
so
I was worried.
Well,
Quite a
Han,
bit.
we appreciate you calling in, buddy. Be sure to fill out the full survey, secfootballreview.com, and that way we can keep you in the running for the The big, what is it? They say the Shoney's gift card at the end of the
Yeah,
season.
Shoney's gift card. That's what we're going to give whoever has the
Sure
most.
thing.
For you, Han,
Sure
I'll
thing.
even throw in a little bit of PF Chang's. How about that?
I love PF
I know
Chang's.
you do. I know you do.
That's my favorite Chinese place.
And it's right there next to Vandy, too.
Here we go.
It's no
Hey, it's
Shoney's.
always my pleasure talking with you guys.
Thanks for calling in, Han.
Take care,
Sure
Mike.
thing.
Anchor
Go
down,
for it.
Colin. Anchor down.
Bye.
All right. Yeah, we kind of had to get. Didn't want to backtrack, but for Han, we
for
will.
Han, we're always going to step back. Always. Love having Michael Hahn, the excitement.
Yeah.
One of our original showmakers.
from 4 years ago.
Yeah,
right? Five.
from that
no,
first-
however long it
the
was.
early 4-person shows.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Texas
That
A&M,
before it was the
Mississippi
two
State,
of us. Okay, so when we look at A&M Mississippi, this is a big spread, 18-point spread.
and it's gone up from 15 when it opened at 15 to 18.
You know, the way Mississippi State played against Georgia, I'm actually going to say that they do not cover.
I can go with that. Texas A&M wins, but I don't think they cover. But Texas A&M is setting themselves up. That's why I say,
5-1.
well, and look at conference though, because right
Oh,
now
look
I'm
at this.
talking
More than the coach and the coach's wife said that
20%. Yeah,
that's a 20% ratio for
Predicted.
Mississippi State. That's
Texas A&M wins.
that's a pretty big that's a pretty big bet.
But yeah, so this is getting into
Who was their one loss to? Was that early in this? That was
Notre
early in the
Dame.
season to Notre Dame.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know where Notre Dame's sitting at right now.
They're still top 25. They got one. They just have the one loss, the bad loss, I believe, to Northern Illinois. But no, Texas A&M, they win this. They're 4-0 in the conference. They're setting up top in the SEC right now with Texas undefeated and LSU undefeated.
In the conference.
Yes,
Because
and
they're
in my
3-0 in the
mind-
conference right
yeah,
now.
Yeah, and in my mind, you know, top two obviously is SEC championship game. But even if you don't win the championship game, if you're number 2 in the SEC, you're going to the playoff.
You're going. Yeah, there's no brainer.
Yeah,
They're playing Texas down the road, right? Texas down the pike. So that means that, okay, let's
that would-
assume that Texas is as good as we
Yes.
think they are, right?
Yeah.
I'm not going to make any assumptions in the real world, though. I mean, I
would.
I think
they're-
anybody can be beaten at any given moment in the SEC. But let's presume that Texas is going to beat them, right? And when we're looking at A&M sitting at 14 right now. So presumably based on rankings, LSU is going to beat them in 2 weeks. Presumably based on rankings.
Well, that's
I'm saying based on rankings,
Yeah,
right? I don't think LSU is.
that's going to be a good game.
That's going to be
though,
a
in
great
2
game.
weeks. If they
That'll be
both win this
That'll
weekend.
be a great game. Great game. And so let's say that now you got. Let's assume they both lose. So now you got 2 conference losses.
2 conference losses, you're out of the top 2 for sure. No doubt.
So now you're struggling to get into the 12th seed.
I think so, yeah. In my mind, with the way the SEC is playing out,
No guarantees on third SEC
because that's what
spot.
makes, and then jumping ahead, that's what makes this week is huge. Tennessee, Alabama, the loser is going to have 2 SEC losses. Georgia, Texas.
Yeah, 2 SEC losses is a big deal.
And if Georgia loses against Texas this week, that's 2 for them. Between Georgia, Tennessee, Alabama, 2 of those 3, if
There's
not
some-
all 3, are
there's some
not
heat.
getting in.
There's some heat this
Yes.
weekend and next.
Yeah, so that's why I
Serious
say
heat.
this is one of the
This will be the
biggest,
2 big weeks.
Yeah, this week is one of the biggest weeks in
Yep.
SEC,
Yep.
which is fun. Makes for good talk.
Makes for great SEC football to watch.
Yeah, yeah. So
Okay, so let's keep going here. I think, we're losing our audience here. So.
well, Town says A&M by 10,
Oh, does he?
which leads me to this plug. Go to our survey on
SECfootballreview.com.
Yep, and put your picks in there, cover or not cover. We're giving you the spread 18.
Yeah, we've got the spreads on the survey.
Yeah.
So
there you go.
okay, spread of 18 on Aggies, and you're gonna pick that
They don't cover.
they don't cover. I'm
Win, but
I'm gonna
don't
agree with
cover.
you on this one. I can't
All right.
believe I'm agreeing with you on this one. I
Well,
can't believe I'm agreeing with you at all. I don't
We've
know
held
what's going on.
hands through this whole first pick or two.
Your wife and my wife are going to get jealous here. We got to stop this. Okay,
Next
moving
game.
on. Oh, no, it's the wrong tab. Next, speaking of big games.
This is your. This
Look
ain't
at the spread,
end?
though.
How come
No,
this-
because of the spread. So this goes back to what we were talking about.
Well-
I am shocked at how tight these spreads are this week.
Yeah, but I think you make it.
Well, maybe this is making exception, but look at this.
You
It went
mean
from
we're going to
3.5
talk about
to
this game
5.
before the Auburn and whoever they play game? Let's talk about
4-point
this
spread.
one first.
Okay. You want me to move Georgia to the end?
Yeah. Well, at least with Alabama and Tennessee,
Okay, we'll put
those should be the last two. to
Okay,
talk
we'll make them the
about.
last. Jeez.
Jinx. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We're about to, aren't we?
Yeah, we
can-
are.
Yeah. This is an exciting.
I thought we had rules around here. The rules were that the tightest spreads are at the end, but apparently that's not how we do things here.
Yeah. Shut you down, didn't I? So next game, Auburn at Missouri.
Okay. So just so you know, when I built the survey is in a different order. So if you're completing the survey,
Oh, you think people would do it as we talk about it?
I mean, we got 5 viewers now.
I stand corrected.
We got 5 viewers. We're
We
big
got
time.
a crazy audience out there.
Our T-Bone is out there shaking the trees, making things happen. Magic happen, dreams come true.
Shaking the tree.
T-Bone's rocking and rolling. He's out there. He's
Yeah.
out there like he is the Wild West man, the T-Bone.
Okay. Yeah.
T-Bone.
Well, I like it. Good work, T-Bone.
Good bone,
work.
T-Bone. Keep it going. Keep it going, T-Bone. Keep it going.
Oh, man, they're talking smack.
He
UT
says,
and
do
Bama.
Tennessee first. I got to go. I got to go to bed, he says.
That's right. Yeah. He wasn't.
Okay, T-Bone, you want us to move Tennessee up? Okay.
We can run through this one real quick.
Okay, then we'll pick up Tennessee right
Yeah.
after this. Okay, so Auburn, Missouri. A
You're a
spread of
Missouri
4.
hater.
I'm a Missouri hater. You know I'm going to say that Auburn's going to beat them. That's how much I do not. Now, I know Auburn has 3 losses in the SEC. I'm not clueless.
Yeah.
I understand this. But that also means that Auburn
Missouri's not impressive.
that
though,
also
so-
means that Auburn's hungry for a win.
Yeah. Okay.
And so and there's a reason why this spread went from -7 to -4.
Yeah.
Because guess what? Vegas is too.
Yeah. Well, look, I don't take Auburn to win, but I bet they lose
It's
by
so
a field
tight
goal.
that it's going
I
to be.
think they cover the 4 points. They don't win, but they'll cover. It's going to be a close game. Missouri wins, but Auburn covers the 4 points.
I mean, so Arkansas beat Tennessee, right? So looking at these now, this one was close. Look at this. This one they scored 13 on Georgia, which we've already seen that's not a big deal.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just don't see when I look at the Missouri performance.
It's going to be a close game.
Missouri has not performed against anybody significant.
Look at the 2 SEC games. They're 1-1. They only won by 3 in overtime to Vandy. Got stomped by Texas A&M. So it's got to be a close game.
Yep.
And you could be right. Auburn might
I'm
win
picking
outright.
Auburn. War Eagle, baby.
There
War
we
Eagle.
go. There we go.
I'm gonna let that eagle fly in.
That's
Clear
right.
the field, baby. Clear the field. Okay, so you ready to move on? We're gonna get T-Bone in here before he goes to bed.
Yeah, let's is he going to call?
Yeah, he's gonna call. He's T-Bone.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a bone to pick with him anyway.
Yeah, you got issues.
He called in
Y'all got
last
some
week.
issues with your milk jugs.
Well, he called in making all these.
I know, stirring the pot.
Yeah.
Stirring
when
the
I
pot.
wasn't even here. That's it's real big.
Real big of him.
Yeah.
Let's see. We get him to call in here and stir the pot again, I guess.
So it's
Just know,
Alabama
T-Bone.
at Tennessee.
Just know we're not going to be looking at you throwing up in the studio, T-Bone. No
Well-
milk jugs and throwing up in the studio. That's
But I
not
do
happening.
think he should, at home, drink a half gallon of milk in an hour because
Hey, Pearson.
You got to be kidding me.
yeah, he was wrong on his prediction.
Wrong in his
Hey,
prediction.
hey,
It's T-Bone.
second time, long time, baby.
Glad to have you back on there, T-Bone. So
Thank you.
Clay is wanting you to drink a half gallon is what he's wanting you to do now.
No, Tennessee won. That was the bet.
No.
Tennessee to lose.
Okay, yeah, but you also boldly stated that they would win by 28.
Yeah, I think you said some big numbers there.
Dang, are you writing it down or something? Did you write 28 down?
No, I watched the show, and part of my job as being on this show is to keep up from week to week.
Clay
what
has
was
a
said.
job, T-Bone. I didn't know
Yeah.
he had a job doing this. I didn't.
He rides around in a truck. I wouldn't call that a job.
But when you come on here making challenges, you think I'm not going to remember that?
Yeah, listen, every now and then the weatherman is wrong. He predicted a hurricane was coming to Florida, and it just didn't. It didn't develop. It didn't develop as much as they thought. So,
But it still was a hurricane.
yeah, we still won. I mean, years passed.
Bazinga.
Dang, are you hitting every button, Jared?
Man, you're coming in hard.
Coming
with
in
good
hot,
one.
bro.
Yeah.
You're coming in hot. That's how this works.
Okay, it's hard to concentrate. My bad. No,
Come on, T-Bone. You don't
listen,
need to concentrate. You're a rock star.
I heard that. It's an ugly win, but I take it. All the years in the past, Tennessee would have lost that game.
Yeah, they
So,
would.
I'm just glad they won.
Yeah.
But
Whatever
it
win
was
you
an
can get,
ugly.
right?
It was an ugly win, but yeah, I'm
It was
glad
painful.
we finally beat Florida. So,
Well, no time to rest. Alabama's coming in.
oh boy, Whew,
Oh, look
I
at
don't
that.
even know
Towns
what
is
to
saying
think.
Bama's going to stomp them.
Pounds, who is that guy in the chat?
He's wearing you out, T-Bone.
He bet. He already bet me. He said Vandy versus Tennessee.
Oh.
Loser drinks a gallon of milk on air. He bet me. So
bet you.
No.
yeah.
You better make that a half gallon. You better start making it more reasonable.
Y'all are going to have to sit outside of the tower here.
That's right.
You
Sit
can't
outside
be
the
in-
doghouse with the dogs.
Yeah, you can't be in here.
No, I just want to see somebody throw up. That's all.
Sounds like. If you don't like the crowd, Trey, you got to quit making jokes.
My bad.
It's a live audience. It's
You
not
got to
me
get all
pushing-
serious now. I mean, we got 5 viewers now. Jeez.
I saw it bump up to 7 at one time.
Oh, man.
Hey, we're
This
big
is
time.
live online. You can see
Yes.
it live online how many viewers there are. Huh?
Yeah, we're big
Yeah.
time, man.
Man, shows you how much we know.
Way to get out there and
Yeah.
shake the trees, T-Bone.
I'm shaking it, baby. I'm shaking it.
Shake and bake.
Shaking
Shake and
bait.
bake.
Shaking bait.
So
That's right.
UT's 3-point underdog. You gonna make some bets or challenges on this spread?
Man, I don't know what to think. To be honest, I mean Tennessee will win. We're going to win. It's
Spread's
Like I
only
heard
3,
a-
T-Bone. Spread's only
yeah.
3.
I know. We'll cover. We're gonna.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. We'll make it. So I heard. Bama's over. They're done. Like they're falling apart. I
Don't
heard.
say that to Reagan, T-Bone.
Well, Reagan will get a new team. That won't be a problem. He'll be a Vandy fan next year. I mean, it won't take much for him to change his team.
He's been a Bama
so.
fan even back in the days when Tennessee beat the snot out of Bama, and that's been a long time.
No, he was 2 years old. Damn, he didn't know. No, they're falling apart. They're complaining that their coach is wearing T-shirts during the game. I mean, like,
Yeah, that is kind of crazy signal there, isn't it?
Well,
yeah.
and I saw that he talked about, I coached at Washington. I know what loud is. I'm not worried about UT.
Lord have
He
mercy.
said, yeah, I thought, well,
He don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Wait till them mustard bottles start flying in the sand.
golf balls.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you're far off. UT's got I think UT has a way better defense than Vandy, South Carolina, anybody that Alabama's played so far. So, and you saw that. I mean, South Carolina and Vandy scored. I think if Tennessee can hold them, I think 28 points wins against Alabama, and I think UT's got a better offense. Well, I don't know.
Yeah,
I think their defense is going to hold them. I think their
Yeah.
defense, if it's low scoring, I think UT wins for sure.
Yeah, ain't that crazy that Tennessee has a better defense than they do offense? You know, Josh Heupel, it's supposed
Yeah.
to be some high flying, but they just ain't getting it together. I guess I do need to lower my expectations because I was thinking Nico for the Heisman, you know, the first 3 or 4 games, but now reality is set in, you know.
Yeah,
Well, and Heupel in his presser, T-Bone, Heupel specifically said, hey, folks, remember, we are the team of Al Wilson. We are the team of Reggie White.
yeah.
We are the defensive team.
Well, I would
Well,
be
they
saying
are.
that too if my offense is not looking.
Yeah. Yeah,
I mean, I think that
absolutely.
was, but that presser was after a game where they were still a really good team on offense, too. That was before they
Yeah.
started playing the big boys.
Well, I think everybody got fooled by how they scored so many on North Carolina State, and me
Yeah.
included. I thought at the time North Carolina State was a decent team.
They were ranked 25th.
Yeah, and scoring 50, you're like, okay, this is a high-powered offense for sure.
Right, right.
It wasn't like scoring 60 on Chattanooga. They
Right.
backed it, so.
Yeah.
But their defense will win the game, I think. If they win, they're going to keep Alabama low scoring because, I mean, Vandy, for the most part, did a good job keeping them in check, and they made big plays. So, and I think UT's defense is better than Vandy. So, if they come
Yeah.
to play,
And NC State's fallen apart since then, haven't they?
they never got started.
Oh yeah, they're no good. They hyped them up. They always hype these. I don't even know what league they're in. ACC teams
Yeah.
to be something, but they're nothing.
No, you're
But
right.
the bad news is I have to go to a wedding this Saturday.
Oh my gosh!
Who gets married the 3rd October? The third
Saturday.
week of October in the South. I mean, good night.
Yeah, that's bad.
Guess what time the wedding is?
During the Tennessee game?
2:30.
2:30.
Oh man.
Well,
Well, y'all-
it's going to be just like that Allstate commercial. You're going to be sitting there pulling down the
Yeah,
thing, trying to
absolutely.
watch it on the
I'll probably fall back in my chair while I'm watching it. It's Jake Isham, his son is getting married, so
Is
I
he?
gotta go.
Oh my God.
Yeah, ain't that
How old is
crazy?
he?
Yeah,
Makes
he's
me feel old.
18 or 20. I don't know.
Man.
Somewhere in
We're
there.
ancient. We're
Wow.
ancient. I mean, look at your beautiful beard.
It's whiter than my shirt.
I mean,
Well, T-Bone-
we're not 35 joining the army, so
Somebody was listening.
Somebody was listening. Hey, don't be telling my secrets there, T-Bone.
Yeah, I didn't know that about you, Jared.
See?
Thank you. Thank
I
you
look
for your
buffer now.
service.
See, look at that.
Put them guns away. So you picked Tennessee to cover. I'll go with you, Trey.
Yeah, I think so.
As much as I want to see you lose and a bet and pay up, but no, I'm with you.
I ain't got a bet on this one.
I tell you
Nobody's
right now,
betting anything.
I'm going to pick it to be Tennessee does not cover but wins. I'm going to pick the.
Well, that
They're going to
doesn't-
win by 2.
I'm going to pick the
No.
Bob Barker by 2.
No, wait a minute though. I got to explain this
You can
to
do
you.
a safety.
But listen, if you pick Tennessee to win, they're covering because they're 3-point underdogs.
Hey, I like
Yeah.
turtles.
You can if they win, they cover.
Yeah,
If they lose by
'cause
2, they cover.
Alabama has to win by
Yeah.
3
So
to
you're
kind of
picking
win. So
Alabama either to
Oh,
beat them. Yeah.
Because Bama's picked to win.
Oh my gosh, Trey! This guy taught high school math at one time.
yeah. He went to Vanderbilt, though. What do you expect?
This is not the prototypical Vandy student.
No, I told you I had to work hard to get in there.
Did they have a DEI program?
They
then?
sure did. They sure did. They sure did, buddy. They sure did.
Oh man.
Well, at least you win. I flunked out of Austin Peay, so you know.
We're Austin P dropouts.
Y'all are troublemakers. That's what it is.
Let's go P.
Yeah.
So wait a second. So I'm confused. Somehow I looked at this spread and I thought Tennessee was picked to win this game.
No, they're 3-point underdogs.
Yeah.
Alabama's.
Well,
the
Reagan
favorite.
should be like on the chat wearing us out then, shouldn't he?
I don't think we'll see him for a while.
Yeah, he ain't gonna show his face around here, not until he has a Vanderbilt hat on. So
If Alabama wins, he'll call in next week. We love you, Reagan.
We love you, Reagan.
we do love
Otherwise, we
you,
wouldn't
Reagan.
talk you about your brother.
That's right. If I was ignoring you, then you know. I didn't know what I was going to say on that.
Okay, so I'm clueless because somehow in my mind I was interpreting, and I hope I didn't do the survey wrong.
No, you didn't.
Did I do the survey wrong?
No. You just can't read. Right there.
Bama by 3. I just
Yeah.
can't read. Okay.
It's confusing, I know. That's what I'm here for, to help you.
Well, I'm just I'm okay. I'm not doing the Bob Barker on this one.
No, you are not right.
Nope.
Price is wrong.
Price is wrong. Thank you, T-Bone, for correcting me there.
All right. You're
All right.
welcome.
Well, have fun at your wedding, not watching football.
I heard that. Y'all have a good show.
That's
Thank you.
You're gonna be doing like Michael was at Disneyland, walking around with
Yeah,
a cell phone.
that's right. That's right.
The kind of people we like to call in that won't watch the game.
Yeah.
They want to talk about it, but they didn't see it.
Isham,
Hard-hitting
gonna be
coverage.
slapping you across the back of the head. Trey, get back with it. Well, thank you for calling in, T-Bone. We appreciate
All
it,
right.
brother.
See you guys. Bye-bye.
See ya. Get out there and shake some more trees, get some more viewers.
T-Bone's got to go to bed, he said.
Yeah. Well, he'll shake them in the morning. You can watch it tomorrow. You
That's
don't
right.
have to
You can
watch
it
us
tomorrow.
live.
You ain't got to watch it live.
Go on and make the picks.
Make the picks.
and call in.
SECfootballreview.com is going to take you to the link tree, and then all you do is click on SEC Football Review 1017, and that's going to take you to the survey.
I know who
Online.
Towns picked. He picked, looking at the chat, Bama by 13.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So is
likes
he
to
a big
stir the
Bama
pot.
fan, or is he just? Oh, he's just
He's
stirring the
Vandy.
pot. He's a Vandy fan.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
he's stirring the pot. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, moving on.
I think he's going to the game tomorrow or Saturday.
He's going to
Yeah,
Tennessee
he'll be.
game.
No, Ball State, Vandy.
Oh, he's going
yeah,
to Vandy game
he's
too.
got tickets. Maybe he'll. Towns, look for Jared. Look at us, his beautiful face here. Try to find him Saturday night. Wish him a happy birthday. It was his birthday, October the 12th.
That's right. I'm a Columbus Day baby.
Indigenous.
That's the
people.
official day is 12th.
Is it?
The holiday is always celebrated on a
On
Monday
the-
or
yeah,
a Friday, so people
yeah.
can get off work. But
Tuesday.
official day is on the 12th.
Man, I should have brought you a cupcake.
And crazy thing is, my grandfather
Mm-hmm.
had his birthday on October the 12th.
Is that the one that would memorize the prices right? Oh,
It is. It is. It is.
I remember that story.
It is. That's the same
That is
grandfather.
awesome.
Yep, that's the same grandfather. So,
Well,
that's a special day, and I guess Scots get the vibes going at the right time of the year because all my kids are like October babies too,
Oh, yeah.
except for one. She's like a September baby, but all right around the same time window.
well, January you get snowed in.
That's
End of
right.
January, early
Or
February.
the little guys get the rolling at the right time when it's not too hot. Okay, moving on. This is a kid show. Moving
Family.
on. Family show. Okay, LSU, Arkansas. This is going to be a big. So this is what I was talking about these spreads. Look at this, 2.5.
Yes. And all right, this
2.5. LSU's ranked number 8. Arkansas is not ranked at all.
No, but Arkansas is still in the hunt.
They've
This
already
is what
shown how strong they are.
Well, look, Arkansas wins. They're 3-1, and they're right up. They're up there in the top.
Same mix.
Yeah, right there in the mix.
And now LSU's going to be 2-1.
Yeah, but at the same time, if LSU wins, they go to 3-0. Keep themselves up there with. I think Texas A&M's going to win this week. I believe Texas.
Arkansas
Well-
lost to Texas A&M, and lost to Oklahoma State.
Yeah. So they need this win to stay in the picture as far as SEC contention.
And LSU, although they did beat Ole Miss, all they've played is South Carolina, and they barely won that one.
And Ole Miss, yeah. So I mean, it's not out. It isn't like they played two tough SEC teams.
And I would say Texas A&M classifies in the category of tough.
Yeah. Well, looking at it, Arkansas's played a tougher SEC schedule already, and not to
They've
mention
already played 3 SEC teams.
their only other loss is Oklahoma State, which was overtime, 2 overtimes at Oklahoma State. So I about talked myself into it's at Arkansas. If it's at Arkansas,
LSU's picked to do 2.5.
Arkansas with the upset right
Yep,
now.
I'm taking Arkansas with the upset.
Man, we have held hands through this.
Should I
whole
just
thing.
pick the Bob Barker one direction, the other one bill the other way?
No, go with your heart.
I just don't. I don't think LSU's that good. I mean, they look great against Ole Miss,
Well,
but I don't think Ole Miss is that good either. So
it is. There's parity. Everybody's going to beat up on each other.
it's tight. It's
Yeah.
tight, and everybody feels like they're in the hunt
Yeah.
right
They're
now. Everybody's still in the
something
hunt.
to play for. That's
Everybody's still in the hunt.
what did I
Right.
tell you at the beginning of this show?
And so when you're talking about like 2-1s and like there's nobody that's not in the hunt.
I mean, yeah.
Everybody.
One loss is still not bad right now.
One
in the
loss is no
SEC.
big deal. No big deal. No big deal.
Yeah, it's exciting.
It's a great ball to watch.
So we're both taking
So
Arkansas.
we're both going to take Arkansas on this one. Be
Yep.
sure to fill out the survey, SECFootballReview.com. I can't say it enough.
it's
We
a
really
fun
want
week.
folks to participate.
Yeah.
Have we lost all our folks in our chat?
No, is that if I'm looking at it right? We're still at 6 viewers.
Well, that's good. That's good. Appreciate you viewing.
Yeah,
Appreciate you
keep it
watching
up.
us. Hey, jump in the chat. We are watching the chat. We'd love to have your feedback too. But yeah, I mean, it's just great football to watch. I mean, I have such a problem. I'm having to put, so they've got ESPN's got that deal where you can watch multiple games
Yeah.
on the screen, right? And so I'm like putting all 4 because like at any given moment,
Oh, here at home when
you can watch some huge game, right?
Yeah,
And I'm honestly going to miss it this weekend because I'm going to be sitting at the Vandy,
Vandy
game,
yeah.
right?
You'll be.
I
looking
mean, I'm
at-
excited about going to the Vandy game. Don't
Yeah.
get me wrong, but at the same time, it's a heartbreaker not getting to watch multiple games because it's just so exciting.
No, that's it is. So I felt the same last week at the Kentucky game. It was the same time as the Florida UT
Yep.
game,
Yep,
and I want to say, same time as LSU and Ole Miss.
they're all starting to overlap now. The
Um,
big games are happening a lot. There's not a lot. There's so much parity.
But that also makes it fun, even at a game.
Oh yeah, when you start seeing the scores come across the screens
coming
and stuff.
across.
Oh yeah,
Then people next to you don't know.
like high five.
What'd you say? You start talking, and then Kentucky, they were showing like highlights during halftime of some of the other games. Like,
really.
yeah. So
Go Kentucky. Way to
that's
do
what
it.
SEC, like their slogan on the SEC, it just means more. Like it is a lot of fun. It's just different when you down here, and I'm not trying to say we're better. It's just different.
But,
And it
when
makes
I was
it a lot
living
of
in
fun.
California, they were like, "Oh my gosh, you went to UT. Oh, you went to Texas? No, I went to the UT."
Yeah.
And now it's officially the UT, right? Because the SEC said we're UT and
Yeah.
Texas is Tex.
Yeah.
Right? But I mean, like in California, we've got UCLA, we've got USC, we've got the Rose Bowl, we got Memorial Coliseum. Well, guess what? You watch a USC game at Memorial Coliseum and you see how many sections that they've covered up
Oh yeah.
with like tarps because there's not enough people there.
Good example, Kentucky Vanderbilt, right? Middle of the road or lower of the conference, you could say in football.
Yep.
Both teams.
Both teams.
Last week, 61,000 people there.
Packed house.
Neither one of them are ranked.
Packed house. Neither team's ranked.
Yeah. Now, granted, it was mostly Kentucky fans, but still, they show.
They show up.
Yeah.
And for the most part, teams travel. And I think Vandy's going to
Yeah.
start traveling too.
Yeah. No, so, I mean, and I would expect, we joke and make fun of Vandy, but I think the rest of the year, and I don't know if I made the full point earlier about the Vandy coaches were come to the game next week.
They're
Ball State.
connected with people individually.
And then he said, the one coach that was talking to us said, more importantly, come 2 weeks from now, fill it for Texas. Fill it so they're out there, and that makes you excited, right? They're trying
Fill
to
it
get
for
more,
Texas.
Yes, and meaning not Texas people.
If
are
Vandy
fans.
beats Bama, Vandy turns around and beats Texas, that's going to be the story of the year.
I'll lose my mind if they beat
You
Texas.
may drink a gallon of milk.
I'll drink a gallon of milk for fun. Yeah, I'll just do it.
Just do it because.
Yeah, I won't care. I'll be honey badger. I don't care. I won't care at that point. Let's not get
We
ahead
need to
of
get back.
ourselves,
Yeah,
but-
we need to
oh
get
my
back.
gosh.
Okay, here we go. So we both picked
On Arkansas.
We're both
which
on
I think this
Arkansas.
would be a fun game
It'd
to
be an
watch.
exciting game. It's going to be close. It's going to be a close game. Okay, so this one. So
I'm not sure what to think about this.
the spread. Look at this. The spread has gone from
a
3.5 for the Sooners to 1.5. And Oklahoma is now 1-2 in the conference.
Yeah, they're
South Carolina is 1-3 in the conference. They are fighting for the bottom. Who would have ever thought Oklahoma would be fighting for the bottom? And Beamer ball, what dude?
who's raising their hand?
I would have never
No,
thought.
I never thought the bottom, but you like early in the year,
I think I wasn't. a
3
big
shows
fan.
ago, I was
wasn't
just
a
saying
fan of-
I think Oklahoma will be down. Now,
yeah.
what did that? I don't think I meant.
I don't
all
think
the
you
way
meant
down to the
this.
bottom,
but
but-
I mean, they lost to Tennessee and they
Yeah.
lost to Texas. So
That's
those are
not-
So when we say like 1-2 in the conference, they're losing against what I would consider to be significant programs.
Yeah, probably.
But they
Two of
just
the top
barely beat
4
Auburn, right? And we were
Yeah.
just talking about the Auburn game. So,
Yeah.
so I mean, this
and
goes
it's
back
gonna
to
be
what we were
another
talking
tough
about.
game.
Back to what we were talking about, right? 1 or 2 losses in the
Oh, yeah,
SEC.
yeah,
Does it really mean that much?
It's another beat.
SEC means more.
Yep, they're going to beat up on each other. I mean, if Oklahoma wins, is that going to make me think, oh, they're better than South Carolina? Because if they turned around and played the week after, and South Carolina won the next week, I would be like,
Any
that
given
makes it-
Saturday.
Yeah, the parity again is just.
Any given Saturday. It's just the conference is so tight.
I
So
think
tight.
South Carolina wins.
And every
Or
one of these
are they
fan
too
bases,
beat up
every
from
one of these
Alabama?
fan bases is like, this is our chance to
Yeah.
show everybody we can do it.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
now that you got the 12-team playoff, everybody, we could still go.
Yeah, because I mean, technically, let's say Oklahoma won out and went 10-2. Maybe they make the playoff.
And their 2 losses are to Texas and Tennessee.
Tennessee, which is
and let's
not
say
a shame.
Texas and Tennessee play in the SEC championship.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not
still
out of the
not out of
picture.
the question.
Not out of the
Now,
now,
3 losses.
3
South
losses.
Carolina,
Yeah, I'd say that's done.
they've lost to LSU, Ole Miss, and Alabama. South Carolina, but they're playing for bowl game.
They're definitely yeah. And Beamer's not going to.
You know what? I'm gonna-
Not going to do anything right.
Do I change from South Carolina and pick Oklahoma? It's not official yet, is it? I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Gamecocks.
It's gonna be close.
I'm gonna go Gamecocks.
I was
And
gonna
that's
say
because
that.
I'm an old school SEC boy.
Yeah. Well, back to 92.
Yep, I'm an
How
old
far
school.
back?
And so,
Which is old
so these
now.
newbies to the conference, they don't know.
Yeah.
Now that being said, it is at Oklahoma.
Yeah. I just find it hard to.
You know, one of the cool things that I never noticed is that every time Oklahoma scores, they have people in the end zones with guns going.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah. It's kind of scary.
Well, they're
No,
blanks.
it's part of it. But see, that tradition that's been going on, that does match SEC tradition.
It
That
does.
stuff. Like
legacy,
that's-
that kind of legacy.
Yeah.
and
That
like
is-
and like Bebo, or is it Bevo? In
the big Longhorn.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
similar kind of thing, man.
And getting back, you're talking about UT as the real UT. Well, I have another cousin that lives in Texas, and he.
You need to get him to come on the show. with us.
Yeah, I should. He's a big Texas fan, and he lives in Texas. Whatever. This past week, he put something about getting ready to watch the UT game against who did Texas play? Oklahoma. And I said, "Oh, I thought UT played Florida this week." And I knew what he meant, but I was just messing with him. But
Well, you know, everybody, when you look at everybody west of the Mississippi,
yeah, it's UT.
they all
Texas.
think UT is Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody east and in the southeast,
Yeah.
they know who the real UT
Oh
is.
yeah. It will always be Tennessee to me, and I can't stand UT or Tennessee, but they're gonna always be UT. Texas just has to live with it.
Well, it broke
But-
my heart when somebody said, "Oh, you went to Texas," when I told them in California.
Oh,
that
I
went to
bet.
UT.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
it just got my goat. And then I'm like, you know what?
So-
how many fans go into Texas Stadium? It ain't 100 and something thousand. I'll tell you that right now.
You know what? I'm gonna let go of your hand and take Oklahoma.
Okay, you take it. Maybe
Just
we'll
for
actually
fun, yeah.
break the Bob Barker here. One
You'll have to-
direction,
yeah.
one way or the other.
You'll have to give me a Shoney's gift card if Oklahoma wins. No.
Hey, I'm
You shut me
broke. I'm
down.
broke. Those Shoney gift cards are for the end of the season.
I don't know the last time I've been to a Shoney's
Is there still one over off
in
Donaldson
Lebanon.
Pike?
No, I think that one's closed.
Is it?
Ah,
No.
I don't
I
know.
thought they remodeled that one.
Had to take a field trip.
There
There's
ain't
one in Lebanon.
No,
Yeah.
where?
By the interstate. By the Shoney's Inn. By that, there's a Shoney's Inn hotel and then the Shoney's.
On Cumberland?
Yeah, right before, yeah. Right at 40. Anywho.
Anyhow.
So,
You know, I always get Shoney's, you know, in Cincinnati it's Denny's. So anyway.
look there. That's my cousin I was just talking
Hook 'em
about.
horns. He's
Sean.
on.
Yeah.
He's on.
That is awesome. He's listening.
Great.
What's
Thank
up,
you for
Sean?
listening,
How are
Sean.
you?
Appreciate it.
Um,
I love the chat thing. I'm glad we got
Yeah.
this up. I'm glad T-Bone got us into the chats. This is what I'm talking about.
yeah.
This is making it
hey,
a lot more
you
exciting.
build a crowd. Build it and they will come.
Hey, we ain't in it for that.
Field of
We're in
dreams.
it for fun. That's why our
No,
audience
yeah.
listens. Okay, so moving on here. And the spread did pull towards South Carolina, right? So Vegas is kind of going in my
Yeah.
direction.
Yeah, and they may be right, but for the sake of
It's at Oklahoma. So
Yeah.
and Beamer's never played at Oklahoma before. Have South Carolina even played at Oklahoma before? I don't know.
I don't know.
Anyway, moving on. Very exciting game here.
Oh,
this
there
is
is Dawson still has the Shoney.
Yep.
Chatter.
I thought they did. Yep. Thank you. Was that Towns?
Yep.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Worried about. I thought it did. I thought I have to get off at that exit to go to work every day. You'd think I'd notice, but
You obviously
obviously I don't stop at Shoney's. Okay, so looking at this game, this is one of the tightest spreads out of the day, and I think we moved that Georgia game because the spread wasn't
Yeah,
tight.
well, that's a big game. So,
but anyway, this game here.
so Sean,
after that
your
tight-
game's coming up.
Oh yeah, he's gonna call in about the Texas game.
Well, he doesn't
He doesn't know how to call in. You need to. I need to get him to text him the number there.
Oh,
Is
he said
Towns-
he said we have a great show.
Is Towns going to call in about the Florida UK game? Is that
I don't know. Did
Anyway.
he text? Yeah. So Florida, Kentucky. It's at Florida.
it's going to be in the swamp?
I can tell you right now, I'm taking the under.
And Kentucky's 1-3.
Meaning the over under of how many points both these teams are going to score. It's at 42.5. From watching Kentucky last week,
They got defense.
yeah, they have a defense, and Vandy held them in check. I think it's not going over 42.5 points. You can book it, George, plaster it, whatever you
So
want.
now, what is this ML over here on the end?
money line means?
Well, you can explain that to me some other day.
Yeah.
Once we've got
That-
ESPN Bet sponsoring the show, then we'll explain that.
Well, money line is just picking to win outright. No spread. You just say, even though.
that's just for the win or loss.
Yeah. And
Gotcha.
so because Kentucky's the favorite, and if you just pick them to win outright, you don't get as good odds
Interesting.
on your dollar, as opposed to if you took the spread.
Gotcha. Interesting.
Yeah.
So this is why we've got Clay on the show, because I have no clue.
So Ellis, that I watched Kentucky game with last week, says Florida by 5.
Florida by 5. Interesting.
Yeah. Kentucky's the favorite on the road. I found that interesting.
Well, I mean, I think Kentucky's played well. And, Florida's played inconsistently.
All right. Yeah. Well, here's what I'll say after watching them live last week. They make a bunch of dumb mistakes. if
That's what
Kentucky-
lost Tennessee. That's what made Tennessee's game so tight because Tennessee was making penalties.
Yeah, well, and I think that's why they got killed by South Carolina earlier in the year, Kentucky, because they made dumb mistakes. Vandy, they may have still hung on and won, but at one time in the first half, Kentucky drove down to the first and goal from the 1 yard line, ended up 4th and goal from the 4, tried to kick a field goal. They bumbled the snap and didn't get any points out of it. It would have,
Now, who is that? Bob Stoops?
yeah. Bob or, no,
No. What is it?
it's,
Stoops. It is Stoops.
yeah, it's his
though.
brother of the old Oklahoma coach. Maybe he did. No, who?
Stoops brothers.
Bob was Oklahoma.
Mark? Mike? How many Stoops are there?
I don't know which one's which.
Let's see here.
Drake Stoops.
Past teams, Oklahoma Sooners. I have to look up.
Bob is the one that coached Oklahoma.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, I think it's Mark Stoops. I can't remember which one. It's one of the. There
Yeah,
he is.
that's who it is.
Yeah.
So the Stoops brothers are like a coaching franchise. I didn't realize this.
Yeah, yeah.
Jeez.
Well, Bob's better than Mark. I'll tell you that right now. Sorry, Mark. I just watched you last week.
His annual salary is $6.75 million.
Yeah.
Apparently, Kentucky thinks he's better than everybody
Hey,
else.
not their fans. The people behind us.
Oh, they didn't like him.
No, at one point, that's it. This is the same. I don't know why we come.
Same old
I'm not getting tickets next year. They were mad.
Wow.
Yes. And I'm just like trying not to laugh to get myself
You're like,
in
dude,
trouble.
I'm telling you, Vandy is like whipping
Yeah.
everybody right now.
Yeah.
I mean, his overall is, oh man, he's like at a 52%. Jeez. 4-4 on his bowl games.
But at Kentucky, and which I would say,
Considering
be
Kentucky's
happy.
history,
yes,
you should be thrilled.
That's what I always said when
It's like Vandy winning against
Franklin
Bama
came in, and I said if we just went 6-6
and go to bowls.
every year and went to a bowl game, and every now and then you went like 9-3, I'd be like, okay,
Should be happy with that.
yes.
Yeah, but you know,
And I
these are
know
the same
that-
Kentucky fans that are
Well,
Kentucky basketball fans
yeah,
too, right?
yeah.
And the only for them, the only mindset is we got to be number one, and we're always going to be number one.
Yeah,
and that's okay. I mean, I'm Tennessee fan, same thing,
yeah.
right? I'm
Especially right now with basketball and football,
number one national championship,
baseball too.
That's what we're
I mean, you're
targeting,
killing
right? I mean, I'm not
sports right
going to
now.
bemoan. I'm thankful for a Florida win, but if you watch a lot of these people who are Tennessee folks, right?
Yeah,
Then you sit there and go, well, they were upset because we didn't blow them out,
right. Yeah, yeah.
but it's still Florida, and this is still Kentucky,
Yeah.
right?
And they were. It was nice to hear them upset about losing the game.
I bet you
can't-
thought it was.
And part of me wanted to go. Listen, this may not be
thankful.
the same Vandy.
Be thankful.
They beat
You
Alabama.
got
the week-
Mark Stoops. Be thankful.
Well, I wanted. No, I just wanted to
You know
tell
how many
them.
relatives I got living in Kentucky? A lot.
Yeah, but it wasn't like Vandy came off losing to Georgia. They just came into your stadium beating Alabama.
They beat number
at the
one in the
time.
country.
Yeah, I was like, it's not as
And
bad
you know,
as you
Kentucky
think.
fans won't feel so bad if they beat Texas too.
I don't think that's how. They may.
You know,
beat
you didn't think
Florida.
that was going to happen, but remember your conversation about Bama.
Oh,
You know
I
what?
I
I'm
know.
gonna go Bob Barker 1 point over covering on every game with these Vandy scores.
Oh.
I'm taking Vandy for the rest of the season except for Tennessee.
Okay. All right. Well, who do you take in this game? Kentucky? Is that what you said?
I'm gonna take Kentucky.
Man.
Yep, I'm gonna take Kentucky, and I tell you why. Because Florida came up to Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to come up to Kentucky.
But they're playing in the swamp. Does that mean anything to you?
I don't care. I mean, everything I'm seeing online, the coach is gone. I saw something else come up where they were talking about they were going to
Really?
hire Kiffin.
It's
Something else. There's totally
that would
different.
be crazy if Kiffin
Totally
goes
different analysts saying, "Hey, yeah, Kiffin. Here's all the reasons why Kiffin's going to go to Kentucky.
there.
or go to Florida."
I I really don't know.
I don't see Kiffin leaving Ole Miss because that's his
I don't
culture.
either.
I think he
we've
is an
talked
Ole
about
Miss
this.
culture. We've talked
Yeah.
about this already, but the number of people who are saying that Florida is going to get Kiffin, I'm just seeing it everywhere. I don't know why. Maybe Google Analytics has figured out. Oh, he said it. Jared said it. So we're gonna give him all the stuff about it. You know, we're gonna set the circus up. Oh yeah, we're gonna set it up. Jared said it, so it's gonna be.
I wish you had that kind of influence.
Yeah. It's not an influence, an algorithm. It's a computer. The computer says Jared said that Kiffin's going to go to Florida, so now we're going to reinforce that by giving him a bunch of articles saying that Kiffin's going to go to Florida.
Well,
And I remember the Kiffin plane, man. I remember when he got on that plane at Tennessee, and Tennessee fans still remember that. They're never going to forget that. That's kind of like Kirk Herbstreit whenever he said something about Tennessee being trailer trash back in the 90s.
oh yeah.
And all
now
the
he
Tennessee
lives here
fans
in-
showed up at ESPN's
Yeah.
game day.
Yeah.
This is why game day. You and I talked about this. This is why game day has a curtain around the show
'Cause they
booth
were
now, 'cause-
throwing stuff.
Oh, they weren't throwing stuff. They filled up like whole big huge chugs with orange drink.
Oh, okay.
And it was I was there. It was a
Really?
coordinated effort.
Wow.
We had a whole bunch of big chugs full of
You know what? I'm going to
orange
turn
drink.
you in. I'm
and
going to get you
threw it.
arrested.
I didn't say I threw anything. I said I was there. And I
They're gonna
said
take you
we,
in
the
for
general we
questioning.
of fans. There was no internet back then, so
Yeah,
thankfully
you can deny it.
that's right. There was no. Well, there was internet, but there wasn't mobile phones. So
Right. You know what? For the sake of being opposite of you, I'll take Florida. I'm not
Let's
really
start the pot.
comfortable with it.
you're not comfortable.
But
with
I can see it going
either way. I could see it going either way.
Florida at home, that's what I do. I'll take them.
I'm on
And they're underdogs. I mean, it's a 1.5, but I'll take them.
okay. Moving on.
All right, the big one. This is it.
This is the one that your cousin's been waiting for.
Yep.
Hey, and T-Bone didn't go to sleep.
No, he couldn't help
I
himself.
thought T-Bone was going to go to bed. He decided not to.
He said Kentucky doesn't even have a
Mark.
basketball team.
So Towns is fixing me. He says Mark. It's Mark.
Yeah. Question mark?
Yeah, it was Mark.
Mark question mark.
Towns, you were right on the money, buddy. It was Mark. There's no doubt about that. So your cousin, I guess he doesn't have the number. So
No.
folks, I'm gonna fix the call-in number, and
And
we'll get it going where it's like I can publicly announce the call-in number. at one point in
And
time.
something interesting about him right now, for the last 6 or 8 months, him, his wife, and his daughter, they have his youngest daughter, they have a sailboat, and they've been sailing around the Caribbean for the last 6 or 8 months.
So he is watching our show from the ocean.
Somewhere. Or he might be,
Did he
In
actually
the
bring his
coast.
boat in?
they might be, yeah. I don't think he's
Wow.
in Texas right now. I think he's,
We need to have him on the show to talk about his journeys.
it's
in the boat.
got to be, interesting.
That'd be an interesting conversation.
I've kind of, you know how you follow. I hadn't talked to him in a while, but I follow him on Facebook. You know how everybody follows your you follow people on Facebook, but you don't say hi.
So he didn't say hook 'em horns. He gave us the horn. I didn't even know that was
Yeah.
an actual. That's a
Yeah.
hand signal that you can now get on.
Yeah, and I think it's this. And then what is degrading if you do?
Oh yeah,
Hook 'em down,
'cause
they don't
and
like-
you heard what Tom said. Tom said it was the Tennessee game they were doing the down
Oh, I
horns.
bet.
At the Tennessee game, he's like, "This is
I
ridiculous.
wish they would
Why
play
are they
this
doing the
year."
down horns at the Tennessee game? Because the Tennessee game, there ain't no down horns for the Tennessee game.
Yeah.
More rich people problems.
Man, we got up to 8 a while ago. Holy cow!
Yeah, we got. That's not what we're in this for, though. We're in this to have fun.
No, but
so.
it's exciting to know
I
that
know it's
more than
exciting.
nobody, because
More than one fan. I got it.
Yeah.
More than T-Bone. They've got more folks than
Yeah,
T-Bone.
he's shaking them trees.
Great to go. Way to go, T-Bone. Way to go.
All right, Georgia at Texas, big game. Gonna be
So Sean told us how he's watching our show. He's watching it via Starlink.
that's over.
So that's
I
going to
don't
be
even know.
Musk, Elon Musk's Starlink. All those satellites that he put up around the Earth. Yeah. That's cool. That's cool, Sean. I've been
That is
watching the
cool.
Starlinks on YouTube, man. I watch the YouTubes like a crazy person. So I like the tiny house stuff
Oh
on YouTube.
man, you just
And
Sean,
tiny
you just
houses, tiny houses out in the woods, like
Just
that's
got Jared
Starlink
excited.
is the way to do that. 'Cause
Really?
you cannot get internet in some places. The places that you can't get internet at Starlink. So
Okay.
Anyway, okay, back to why we do the show,
Yeah.
SEC football. So Texas, Georgia, the spread, I was shocked. It was tight, but this goes back to all of them this week seem to be tight.
Yeah. And this has gone up, actually. So money's been coming in on
Money's
Texas.
going on Texas.
Started at 3.5.
But I'm
and,
still saying this is Georgia. And so
Man,
I'm going to pick Texas to win, but not cover.
I'm going to say they cover.
You are all in on Texas.
I am. I don't. I want to say when I saw, and I don't know that Michigan's that good, but the way they handled Michigan,
Georgia is on the hot. Like,
and then they, I don't know. They have Quinn Ewers back, their veteran quarterback, and I think if it was Arch Manning still playing and Ewers was hurt, maybe I would say Georgia.
their SEC wins, Mississippi State and Oklahoma.
Yeah, but I look at beating Michigan.
35-13. Beating Michigan. Let's take a look at Michigan.
Yeah, they just got beat last week.
I'm gonna probably talk you out of this one, I bet.
No, you're not.
Washington 27-17.
That's who they lost to. But they beat Minnesota. USC is their big. That's not real big wins, but
27-24 against USC.
USC was 11.
27-24 against Minnesota.
Okay, I agree. All right. And,
So, you're
I'm
gonna be
looking
in
at
for-
the
I think-
comments.
I think
Sean
you-
says it'll be a good test. I agree with that, but I still think I'm not saying they're going to blow them out.
I'm just saying they're unproven. I'm saying they're unproven.
Yeah, we have separated the last
We
three
have.
games here.
We have. They're unproven. Now, I'm not saying that Georgia's proven either because of their performance against Alabama, right? I'm not saying that they're proven.
They lost to Alabama,
And I'm
beat
not
Kentucky
saying
by one.
that,
All right,
that was a close Kentucky game, right? So this is going to be a close game. I'm not saying that
So
it's not.
guess-
This
so-
is why I said, hey, Texas wins.
so guess what? When Texas next week comes to Vandy, they'll be underdogs. By your
I don't think they'll be under. But see,
Well, go-
this is
'cause
Georgia,
look.
number 5 in the country, bro.
No, they are, but it's Georgia has struggled. They're going to get hook 'em horns all up the Bulldogs' butt.
Trey's doing all kinds of pictures. What is this?
I don't know. And Ellis, look, Ellis, at 10 years old, he knows football. He's saying Texas by 5. I'm all on board. It's going to be a good game.
So Texas by 5. If Texas by 5, does that mean that Texas covers or doesn't cover?
Well,
To cover, you got to break 5.
yeah,
Right?
so 6. Yeah.
So he's picking me.
Well,
Texas by 5. He's saying that they don't cover.
he's just a kid. He don't
Hey,
know
dude,
no
I'll
better.
take it. I'll take any fans I can get.
It's a push, actually, for both. And I don't remember how that works. Usually, if it's a push, you don't win. If it's on the head. But I'm not up to date on my
Well, I'm going to
betting.
pick the Bob Barker for 4.
All right. I'm saying over. So yeah. So you're saying Texas for the sake of our survey?
Now, if it was the 3.5, I would say Texas covers.
Oh, yeah.
Because look at the direction
so
it's
you're
going.
4. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, yeah. I see.
I know the math doesn't work because I'm a math teacher and
Yeah.
I don't do math.
Well,
but
maybe in your head.
I'm just saying. I'm
yeah.
just saying. I feel good about Georgia. I feel like Georgia's got something to prove,
Yeah.
and a
mean-
lot of the stuff I've seen coming out of Georgia is that they are upset.
There's 2 teams that are.
Georgia and Bama fans are upset.
Well, that's different than the team being upset, though. Fans
But
can't play.
I'm saying the teams are reflecting what's happening.
Yeah.
The coaches are reflecting what's happening.
Well, you
both
hope
the
they
coaches. Both the coaches. Like the stuff I've seen.
Did you see, speaking of Kirby Smart, Georgia's head coach last week, push that Mississippi State player?
Oh yeah, he's fired up. It was by mistake. I don't think he intended anything out of it.
That gives me more reason to pull for Texas next week.
Well, you can pull all you want, but I'm saying they're upset.
yeah.
Kirby's upset, and old boy that I can't ever pronounce his name at Bama is upset. DeBoer. DeBoer.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start calling him the DeBoer.
They're not going to have a job very
Boer.
long at Alabama if he keeps that up.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they'll give him some time.
Yeah. I mean,
This is his first year, isn't it?
Yeah.
Saban's gonna tell him, no, don't let him go yet. That's what's gonna happen, because that's who's really running the show still over there.
You think?
Dude, they named the field after him.
Well,
Did you see the fans when he showed up at that Bama game when they
Oh,
did
yeah.
ESPN broadcast?
They went nuts.
They acted like it was.
Yeah.
I mean, he's done big things, man. Big things. But I'm just saying, Georgia is
Well-
out for blood, and Texas is comfortable. And that's always a sign. That's always a chance.
You
Now,
say
it's
that,
at Texas.
But
it's at
aren't
Texas,
they trying to prove, hey, here, we're going to come in the SEC
and we're going to run the table?
Yep.
Maybe that's
Which
true.
makes this week, like I said at the beginning,
This is the big test.
this is why it's so exciting. One of the
Kind of
biggest
like what Sean
weekends.
said. This is going to be the big test.
Yes. Because, I mean, you make a good point. Georgia wins. Well, that guess now who's sitting pretty? Texas A&M and LSU, if they win this week. They're the two undefeateds, which no one would have predicted at this point. And you'd have, you know what I mean? And everybody's chasing those two in the conference. Ain't that crazy?
Neither one of those teams impressive.
But that's what we're looking at. If LSU and I think Arkansas is going to win. I think we both picked Arkansas.
Yeah, I think we did.
But that's why this is a huge week. It's going
This
to
is just
really
such an
make.
exciting season.
Yeah,
in SEC football.
it is.
It really is, and I'm glad we started our show back again this year.
Yeah, no, this
This
has
is a good
been
time.
fun.
A good time to start the show.
Good, a lot of change, new conference, new playoff
NIL,
system. Yeah,
you got the new
even
portal.
for us non-expert, just fans,
Dude,
it
we're
is
just
fun
fans.
to talk.
It's just so exciting to talk about, and that's why we love the folks participating in the
Yeah,
chat.
thank y'all for watching.
And I'll try to get the number this time. I'll put the number up on the screen, and
Oh,
we'll
you
figure
gonna
out a
do
way
that?
to. I'll figure out a way.
We need I think
We need
still,
a screener if we're gonna do that.
Yeah, I think
We
you
need to
still
manage
hand
it.
it out to who we
That's fine. That's
for now,
That's fine.
because you don't know who would call.
Who knows? Who knows? Maybe
Which
we'll get
maybe-
20 viewers. That'd make it more exciting. I think Paul Feinbaum's got screener, so I don't know. Maybe we need
Yeah.
a screener
What you
because
could
he
do?
knows who's coming on the show before he. Even
Yeah.
yeah, he knows.
I mean, could you imagine doing that one time, just taking random? You put it up there.
I think I tried to do that when one of the seasons when you weren't around. There was a
Probably no
couple
one was-
seasons when you
yeah.
weren't around. It was hard, man. I had
I
4
bet.
people on deck, all on the mics, and then I was behind the board trying to participate and get the
Yeah.
show moving.
Yeah,
This is so
That's
much
tough.
better. This is so much better.
Well, it's been fun. I guess we can wrap it up.
Yep.
You're going to Ball State Vanderbilt. I will not be going to a game, I don't think. I've enjoyed it.
It's been fun.
Wrapping up. Hey, show 6. This is the 6th show.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Yeah. SECFootballReview.com. Complete the survey. Thank you so much for watching. Man, big time shout outs to T-Bone, Towns, Sean, everybody who participated in the chat.
Shane.
Everybody.
Yep.
If you
Thank
participate in
y'all.
the chat, thanks so much. This has been a production of Scott Social Media.